All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube live or watching a replay, I'm going to be doing some cool stuff. Be consulting with somebody I know that owns a restaurant and they're looking to license over something. Gonna learn more about that, do some discovery with them. And then after that, gonna be helping a handful of guys in terms of growing their agency, whether it's with their ads, whether it's with the sales process, whether it's with service delivery, all kinds of different things. So if you find value in this, if you enjoy this, and if you want to join and be a part of this, well, there's a link below. If you go down the description of this YouTube video, you can click that link. It'll take you to a page. You can apply to join us. All right. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yo, 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 Raj, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, man?
Good, bro. I can't see your mug. Where's your mug at?
Give me one second. I'm sitting on the couch right now because I just got home.
Oh, it's all good.
All right.
Right, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, things are going well. Things are staying busy as usual.
Yeah, man, how you doing, dude? After the car accident, bro?
Good. I honestly did nothing happened to me. Car's gone, but nothing happened to me. So yeah.
What happened? Like just swerve or something, or there's an oncoming traffic?
Let me turn left in front of me. I was going straight and I swerved to avoid him and then I swerved back and then the car I think the wheels locked up or something and I just flipped the whole thing over. Yeah. Coming back from catering.
Damn, bro. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad you're wearing a seatbelt, like you said, man.
yeah,
I saw that. I'm like, the last few days, I just every time somewhere I don't have my seatbelt, I'm like, buckle,
yeah.
buckle.
No, I usually don't wear my seatbelt, so that's yeah,
Just a
yeah.
good reminder. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad everything's okay. And it's good to see your face, man. It's been a while, bro. It's been a hell of a minute since I seen you last, man.
Yeah. Yes. How have you been? You been good?
Good, man. Just chilling, doing my thing. I don't know. We can get into more stuff, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just the
Yeah,
typical stuff. So nothing to yeah, average. Everything's okay. So,
that's
but
good.
let's delve in, bro. I got so Righteous is within our coaching program. I don't know how long me and you are gonna go on for. I left a
Yeah,
message with the guys and let them know, hey, I'm talking to somebody. We're gonna maybe do some discovery, just kind of figure out what's going on with you. And I
yeah,
told them, hey, you guys want to hop in, you can hop in whenever you want to hop in. So I guess Righteous just want to hang out and kind of hear what we're doing.
yeah.
Righteous, by the way, he's in Columbus, Ohio too, so he's
Oh,
local.
nice.
So Righteous, Raj is local as well. So he's a buddy I've known from college.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
So keep us in
nice.
the house again.
Yeah. We got three people. We got four people. Me, Raj, you, and then Estelan. So we got Columbus in the house today. So it'll be cool. Um, but all right, bro. Raj, I'm just gonna share my screen with you, bro. I don't know, bro. Like I'll let you kind of take the conversation. I just typed up some miscellaneous shit. I don't know like what would be good or where would we start. So I'll just leave it up to you, bro, in terms of like where you want to take things. Again, I just want to share with you, like I have some questions. I don't know if you feel like any of these are good, but talk to me, bro. What's going on?
So right now, in terms of the catering stuff, we kind of maxed out what we can do in just like one kitchen and everything. And so now we're also moving on to doing, I think I told you a little bit about creating a like a we're trying to wholesale biryani paste to restaurants. And so we passed through, like we've done everything we need to for like testing and everything, and we're at the point where we're having restaurants try it now and actually trying to sell to them. So I'm trying to understand what I need to do in order to like marketing is definitely something that we're lacking on. We're just trying to we don't really have a plan for that just because this is something new for us. And then, trying to become larger scale than because we're more than likely going to have to move in a commercial kitchen and, get different approvals from governments. I don't know. That's all stuff that we need to figure out, and that's what we're moving towards right now. So I think, aside from the biryani pace, we also obviously want to expand the restaurant. Now that, our caterings have taken off, the restaurant can't really handle doing any more caterings, but, we have the ability to do more catering. So kind of stuck there trying to figure out how to expand, like where to move money around, and I think also figure out where to get more funding from and things like that. Because obviously I have this is a family business, but it's getting to a point where obviously my parents are taking a step back and they're not trying to be as involved in it. So I'm trying to figure out how to expand on what they're doing right now.
Okay, cool. So in terms of the restaurant, I'm gonna ask you just some really elementary questions because I just want to get caught up to speed. So this is the place that I came to a few years back. I
Correct.
forget. I think I came with Hisham or something.
Yeah, yeah, same place.
Okay. Do you guys have multiple locations, or is it just that one location, bro?
No, it's just that one location. I had a food truck last year, but I just sold it because the catering business was much more profitable. So,
Okay. So okay, so before I like ask about this pay stuff, like I guess like what do you like what are you trying to do is like for example, I had a conversation with a guy or a girl. She was like doing tattoos, and then she was trying to sell online course. I'm like, okay, what's the point? Why not just keep doing what you're doing? You're already making 8,000. She's like, okay, I want to make more money, but get my time back. And
mhm,
so I sell a digital product. Okay, that allows me to scale.
right.
I don't want to scale and do more tattoos because I want to actually have a life. So I guess like what I'm saying is like, what problem are you trying to solve? Like, are you just trying to figure out how do I make more money? And so this is a play that you're thinking has potential legs to it. What's the ultimate thing you're trying to do? Like, hey, we're
So,
trying to make more money, but we don't have more time, or we don't have more staff, or like, what are we trying to ultimately do, bro?
so we uh we know the vice president of BB Bop, and we've been having conversations with her where she has been saying that she sees the potential for our restaurant to become something similar to that. And so I mean, the goal isn't really to make more money, it's just to expand the brand and become um more commercial and possibly try to franchise or try to have more locations so we can handle more caterings and like because like I said, right now we're maxed out with what we can do with one restaurant. Like the amount of caterings we're doing, and
What do you mean by that? Like you're maxed out? Like what does that mean?
there
Like you don't have enough staff? You don't have like what's the bottleneck that's prohibiting you from doing more catering?
there's not enough space in the restaurant to hold more food in like the freezers and the coolers, and like we just don't have the space to put any more like of our supplies basically to make the food. And
Okay,
we're
so you can get more raw ingredients.
mhm,
Um, the problem is it's jam-packed in terms of like all the equipment that you have. So
correct.
the
And
only
we
way to
only
scale further is like more equipment or more, we need more space for more equipment to do more things.
correct. And so that's why we also only have two chefs right now. So that we have to expand our staff right now, which we're in the process of doing, and we're trying to trying to keep the restaurant open later so that we can do more caterings like that. But in reality, there really isn't the space to do it. That's why we're either trying to get a commercial kitchen or, have another restaurant. And that's what we're trying to figure out right now. So yeah, staffing is definitely an issue, and as well as just the space that we have in the restaurant right now.
Okay. So to me, it sounds like you want to make more revenue, but you guys are bottle capped. That's what it sounds like to me. And like what I'm hearing is like different options in terms of scale, like different options to make more money. So that's where maybe the pace thing is coming in. So
Mhm.
you came to me initially talking about the pace in particular. Like, is that like, hey, pasting is the thing that we know is going to take us at next level, or like, are you like, how do you know that that's the move? Maybe the move is something else. Like, how do you know that that's the best move to achieve the highest, you
We've
know?
done, we've done a lot of market research. We've been going to different restaurants all around, like the Midwest. Like we've gone to Michigan, Indiana, and I believe Virginia, and we've given the paste and explained what it is to all these restaurants. And they all said, yeah, there's a need for this because basically every Indian restaurant has to pay uh, a single chef to make their biryanis, and this would give them the ability to take that away. That would take out that person needing to be in the restaurant creating that. There, anybody can use the paste. You just add water to it and rice and whatever meat, and it's good to go. So that's something that we're trying to create and possibly move into like wholesale, not only wholesaling but retail.
So,
But
so wait, why do they need a chef for biryani? Like you need a chef for multiple things, not just biryani. You need it for all kinds of different dishes.
yeah, but the amount of biryanis that a lot of restaurants make, they have to have one dedicated chef because they're making so much of it. That's how it is typically in Indian restaurants, is that they have one
How
chef.
much how much of a chef's time goes into making just biryani?
They have to make those big pots of biryani every single day. So that's a person that they have in there every single day. And they have to make the masalas, which take
How much time of the chef's day or week goes into creating that? Like here's what I'm asking. If you're gonna have a full-time chef, you're gonna pay him, I don't know, two, four, 7,000. I don't know, every restaurant's different. So I'm
Mhm.
asking is, okay, if half of their time is spent making biryani, well then the value of the biryani is $4,000 if they're paying the chef $8,000 and if they're spending half the time. That's what I'm trying to ultimately get at. So how
Mhm.
much time is the chef putting into creating that biryani?
That I'm not 100% sure of. I think my dad would probably know the answer to that question.
If you
But
had to estimate, what would you guesstimate?
I mean, if they're working 40 hours a week in a restaurant, I would say at least 20 to 30 hours of their time is dedicated to making those masalas and creating and biryanis.
Okay, cool. There we go. That's what I'm looking. Because
Gotcha.
the reason is I'm looking at this pace thing. I'm trying to figure out like the value add. Like what is the value proposition? So the value proposition is not much if it's like a $2 thing and
Mm.
you have right now it's a much more valuable thing if you're like, hey, like we're replacing a freaking staff member, or giving you 20 hours of time. Like now there's the value prop of that, and we can sell that high ticket potentially even.
Right.
Okay, so 20 to 30 hours dedicated to making biryani for a chef. What does a chef usually charge?
4 to 5 thousand a month. Uh,
Okay.
You
So
know,
here,
give or take higher and lower depending on where you're at.
so let's say theoretically you provided this pace that wouldn't fully, I mean, the thing is like you're still like how would that help a business in turn? Like I get the demand of like, hey, chefs spend a lot of time, but like you'd still need a chef to cook other stuff, right? So how are they saving costs?
Correct, because the paste would be ready made for them. They don't have to have anybody dedicated to actually making those masalas. And because every biryani place they make the all the masalas in the restaurant. Like everything is done for the most part. I mean, not every restaurant is like that, obviously, but
So
for the
let's say theoretically we gave the paste to a restaurant that has a chef that makes the biryani.
Mhm.
What changes? Now all of a sudden that chef, instead of spending 40 hours a week working, now they're spending 20 hours a work weekend. Okay, cool. Now what?
Well, they save money on the process of making the biryani, and they make money off of the paste that we're giving them because I think each one they buy it for I think it's 250 for a tub, and I think the value of it is 1,000 to 2,000 for them, which is they're able to actually make money on the biryani and not have to pay someone to make it. So depending on how many tubs they go through a month, um, I would have to sit down and get the actual numbers, but it's somewhere around there.
So here's what I'd be interested. I could send this over to you. So here's what this costs. So it costs this to sell biryani each month. Cost of employee, cost of goods. And so if you can figure that out, now we have a value proposition, right? So
Hmm.
if you're spending, if it costs a business, I don't know, 3 grand to make enough biryani, and now you're cutting it in half and you're saving them, now you can charge 1,500 for that. Now it makes sense. $1,500 per month. Now you're cooking. We got something big. Cool.
Okay.
So your mind is so it's like we got the pace as an opportunity. Another opportunity is to like do the commercial thing. That's a different way you can solve this bottleneck. So like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna pick one? Or are you in a place where you're like, hey dude, let's see if like Koshik has something to help me scale this pace thing. And if so, then we don't have to, go to a commercial place and do this other thing. Or if we can't really scale this pace thing, then we might have to go to a commercial space. Is that kind of what's going through your head, or am I misunderstanding?
No, I think I'm just trying to figure out what like the best next steps are in order to, because in my head I'm thinking we can start making the paste in the kitchen to begin with, but yeah, once we actually get orders from people and we're actually making sales on that, we're gonna have to move to a commercial kitchen, um, which would be something that we have to go get funding for, and which we we can do that. We have the ability to do that right now. It's just a matter of I don't know if that's the right move or not immediately. So that's what I'm trying to figure out what the. But I think you're right. The first thing I need to do is actually sit down and figure out what the potential price would be for like how much the people could make off of one of those tubs first.
Why not just so I'm a firm believer in like not partaking in like shiny object syndrome
Yeah.
and like downing on what does work. So I always like to I got that from Hormozy. He always says basically do more, do different, do more, do better, then do different. So you just max out whatever the fuck you can do. Once that stops working, well then you just get better, and then from there then you do something different. So right
Yeah.
now you're kind of doing more. So now do different. So do the same thing you're doing, just do it in a different way before you do something different.
Yeah.
And so what that means is like, why not explore just figuring out how to do more catering by just opening up another location, starting there?
That's
Because
yeah.
pretty much guaranteed to work versus like this pace thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Very,
mean, I would, my next question would be, how many people have you had a conversation with? How many people have already agreed to buy this thing? I wouldn't, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, let's explore that. Like, how many people realistically have you shown this to? How many of them have said like this is cool versus like actually like paid some cash or something for it?
I think 4 restaurants we have right now that have bought the masala from us that we're making right now for them.
Okay, and then how many have you shown it to though?
I'm not sure. I've shown it to like 5 restaurants, and then my dad's shown it to. I think he went to like 5 or 6 places as well. So yeah.
Okay, so basically you guys showed it to about 10 people and you guys have 4 people already converted.
Hmm.
That's awesome, bro. So in terms of these people that are buying, how much are you guys like how much are they paying you guys?
It's like it's around. I think it's $250 for one bucket. And I'd have to go check what the size of the bucket is, but from the conversation I remember having, because we were calculating everything, like we were calculating all the spices and everything, and how much each bucket can make, like per biryani, and I believe it's around 1250. $1,250 is what the restaurant can potentially make off of that $250 that they buy in that paste.
Right. So what I'm trying to figure out is for you guys, like what are your costs, right? So for have brought masala, the revenue. So what I'm trying to figure out is like how much is each restaurant paying you per month right now?
Per month, it just depends on how much biryani they make. That's what we have to. This is the first month that we started doing it, so it just depends on how much they order. It obviously
give me like a, if you can give me like a, so here's what I'm trying to, the reason I'm trying to do this exercise with you is I'm just trying to determine whether this opportunity is even worth it or not,
Yeah,
honestly.
100%.
So restaurant one, approximately how, like, is this something that just started like in the last month or 6 months?
Not the masala we've been doing for the obviously for the past like 10 to 15 years. Like we've been doing that in our restaurant and like we've created our own recipe for it and like, you know, I we we think it's very, very good. And
I
um
ask is like how long since has it been since you guys have been starting to sell it to other businesses?
oh, literally just the past month. Like we
Okay.
just started this. Yeah, we've been doing it like we've been coming up with the pace for the past like year, but we just started actually.
So
Yeah.
restaurant, just give me like a ballpark of like what, just guess as to like how much restaurant one, two, three, four would pay.
I mean, if our hope is that they would be going through around 100 buckets a month. Um,
So 100 buckets a month. I mean, is that like, again, give me like not fly high or like bear low. Like here's realistic. Like realistically, 100 buckets, or is it 50 buckets or 70 buckets?
I would say 100 buckets for a restaurant that does biryani the amount that most do. I would say that they would need about 100 buckets of that.
So 100 times 250. So that means that they need to pay, they're going to pay about 2,500. Now, yeah, 2,500. Okay, so out of this 2,500, how much? So actually, let's just do this. Each restaurant needs 100 buckets at 250 per bucket. Okay. And then what is the approximate cost um of this, right? So the 2,500 that they're paying you, approximately what would your cost be?
Just to make the bucket, the ingredients would probably be it would probably be around $70, 70 to $75, including the labor and the cost of goods and everything
That's per bucket or for all of this?
per bucket.
Okay. 70 per bucket, cost of goods and labor, 70 per bucket times 100 buckets equals, what was that, like 700, 70 times, yeah, 70 times 100 is 700, right? Or what? Wait, 70, so $70 per bucket times 100 bucket. Why is my math so fucked up right now? Because that's seven, unless this number is fucked up. 250 times 100.
Wait,
Okay. I was like, what the fuck?
that might not be right. I might have these numbers wrong right now.
No, no,
That's
no. You're probably good. I think I just got my numbers wrong. So here's what this is telling me. If each restaurant needs 100 buckets,
mhm.
$250 that they're paying you per bucket, that means you guys are going to bring in about $25,000 in revenue from each client each month.
Mhm.
If you're
That might be high.
okay. So maybe what's real? So give me like a realistic number. Like, what do you think? Like 10,000,
Yeah, I would say
5,000, 10,000, 2,000?
it really just depends on how big their operation is. That's what we're trying to figure out right now. I would say maybe 100 might be way too high. Maybe 40 or 50.
So 40 would take us to the 40 buckets
That would
times
be
250. That's 10,000. I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable to me,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So $70 times 40. So 70 times 40 is
That's yeah.
so profit is 10 minus 2.8 is 7.2. So this makes sense, dude. I didn't know that if these are the numbers, then it makes sense to fucking scale this as opposed to like doing way more catering, having way more employees and way more overhead.
I
This
mean,
is way
that's
more.
I think we're trying to do both of them in tandem. Like, basically, it's me and my dad. We're basically doing both at the same time right now. He's focused in more on the biryani stuff, and I'm right now more focused in on like growing the caterings. Um, which he's obviously going to take a step back now. He's getting older, so now I'm kind of doing both, and so we're trying to figure out what the next moves are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like focus on one, right? For
Mhm.
for like this conversation, I would say, focus on one. I mean, I would have to have a longer, deeper conversation because I do need to know more about like the what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like see what the numbers really look like.
Yeah,
And if there's opportunity, if it makes sense to proceed with it, or it makes sense to just like figure out how to just scale your catering thing,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's I mean, have you done the math to try to kind of figure that out?
Um, I mean, aside from understanding how much I'm bringing in right now from the caterings, I haven't really looked in. The only thing I know is that the two people that I have right now who are doing the cooking for the caterings, I only have two of them. So they're kind of also maxed out on the on
Actually, let's do this. Actually, this will help me. So in terms of in terms of this, I feel pretty good about it. 7.2. And again, every restaurant's a little bit different. Some need 40, some need 80, some need 200. I was just trying to figure out the average. So let's just kind of stick to 40 for now. So this means that each client is worth about 7.2K per month
Mhm.
times 12. 7.2 times 12. I mean, that's like each client, each client is worth about 86K in profit per year. Okay, we're cooking, right? That makes sense. Now, if we look at your the catering side, what are we talking about in terms of again, obviously things differ from like slow months to like busy months, but like if you were to like average everything out, what is revenue, expenses, profit?
So revenue right now, I'm doing roughly 30. I'm some months I'm a little under 30, and then some months I go a little bit over. Like this time of year right now is the busiest season for us. So the next like couple months are going to be really busy. So I might be pushing closer to 40 and 50 because I just got a couple more contracts in the past week. So my costs are roughly 60% of that. So I take back 40%. So whatever 60% is of 30, I think it's around 20, right? 20.
So 30 times point six, so about 18K. So approximately 18K to so 50 times point six is 30K. 30K in expenses. Profit is going to therefore be 30 minus 18, 12K to so 50 minus 30, 20K, 20K. Okay. So dude, to me it's super fucking obvious, bro.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, is it obvious to you?
That the catering stuff is much more obviously because it's, you know, already in and it's already pushing.
Hold on. You're breaking up a little bit. So
Sorry.
no, you're good. It's probably my end. My internet's like terrible. So what I was saying is to me, it's pretty obvious if you should explore the pay stuff or you should not. To you, is it obvious? And if so, like what is obvious to you?
I mean, they both are things that we want to do. I just, they're like right now the caterings are making money. Like it's what's sustaining all these other things that I'm trying to do outside of it.
Yeah.
And there is opportunity for that to grow very quickly if I can just find more manpower in the space, um, which I feel like are much easier to do than the paste because the paste is going to be, I feel like that's going to take at least a year to even get like fully going.
Okay. What makes you all right, let's talk about growing the catering versus growing the pace, right? So SOP, step by step. So in terms of growing the catering, step like just walk me through step one, I have to find this, step two, I have to do this, step three. Let's kind of like walk through it, and then we'll kind of figure out what we need to do for the pace stuff and see if there's maybe any overlap.
So obviously, step one for the catering expansion would be hiring more chefs, maybe one, possibly two more. Then the next one would be figuring out the space and whether or not we can actually take in more stuff to cook, like more raw goods that we can, like, I'd have to figure out a way to store them. Um, just that's basically it. We just don't have space in our restaurant right now. And then third step would be obviously getting more contracts. That's just the sales part of it that, you know, I don't know. I don't have any issue with that right now, honestly. I feel like that's been the easiest part about all of this was just going in and getting it like this, like getting like pitching to them is easy, but actually figuring this stuff out after is not. So
Okay. So
yeah,
hiring one or two more chefs, which I feel like you're probably going to be able to do based off your experience. There's a bunch of people that cook you can get, right?
I
Uh,
wish that's kind of the problem right now. There's like it's very difficult to find people right now.
yeah, I mean it's not easy, obviously, but like they are out there, right? They are out there. Chefs are out there. If you do your due diligence, we can certainly find it. It's just a matter of like just brute force. It's just like doing the work of the person. It's not like some secret mystery thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus like figuring out a way to store the goods. I mean, is this like a mystery or like can we not like is there not like some kind of like how like there's storage places you pay per month to like store shit, like storage
Yeah,
garage, or whatever? Like, is there not a solution?
possibly. I mean, the one solution we're looking at right now is building like actually building an enclosed storage in the back of the restaurant that we have storage in the back, but it's not there's a lot of permits that you have to go through to actually build that, and like that's a lot of stuff that we have to go through with the city in order to make that happen, which is that's a painful process with the city to get anything done, like having to get building permits and have to go through the health department to make sure that it's safe enough to be kitchen use. Yeah, the storage unit might be a possibility, but I mean, yeah, we could do. I didn't think about that for the dry goods. Like we have a lot of dry goods that don't need to be in a refrigerated unit or anything. So that's that. There's a storage unit right next to our restaurant that we could possibly do that with. You know, um,
Because
yeah,
the issue is not people inside the restaurant. It is not equipment inside the restaurant. It is just simply food that you cannot fit inside the restaurant. Am I understanding correctly?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, or this sounds like a fucking pain in the ass, but like storage unit, like I mean, if there's somebody that's just in charge of that kind of shit, you know, what's another option that you have?
Honestly, I don't know because we need to have all that stuff close enough to the restaurant where it's easily accessible. And like, there's nowhere in our spot right now that we're in. Like, they're like all the shops are occupied right now. There's no empty spaces in there. Um,
And so you mentioned something along the lines of like moving to like a commercial space.
Possibly.
I mean, how long have you guys been at the place that you guys are at right now? You guys been there for like a decade.
Yeah,
Like,
a decade. I think it's been like 13 or 14 years that we've been there.
yeah, like how difficult would that process be to find like another location that's a little bit larger, and move things over? Because you guys rely majority of your income on catering, not necessarily dining in, I would assume.
Well, right now the restaurant's taken off quite a bit. The restaurant's actually doing really good now too. Like no, not dine-ins have become a lot more steady for us. Obviously, the majority of our stuff comes from to-go orders. So, but the restaurant.
So you're talking about like moving to a more commercial space. I mean, you talk about it kind of like nonchalantly, like for me, it's like if my location, was my bread and butter, like, like for example, like Buckeye Donuts on campus, right? It's like, no, dude, the location like makes it what it is. So
Right.
is your thing like the location makes it what it is or not really?
No, I don't think so. I think where it doesn't really matter if we decide to just have a commercial kitchen or if we decide to open up another
Have your
location.
have your parents like kind of explored that or is that like only something that's kind of been running through your head? Like, have they suggested like, oh, maybe we move to like a commercial space? Are they open to that? Have they talked about that? Have they brought that idea up or no?
Yeah, we've been in discussions about what the next steps are after this, like because they obviously are seeing that we're capped out too, and like they see the potential in what we're doing right now. Um, I think my dad's kind of leaving it up to me to like come up with a plan and say, hey, let's do it this way. And if he agrees to it, obviously we're both gonna go in on it together again.
So, I
Uh,
mean, how difficult would it be to like, move to another location, like another commercial space? So this is a fucking pain in the ass. This
mhm.
is doable, but um, yeah, it's doable. I'm sure you could probably like store cold shit there too. I'm sure you could figure it
Yeah,
out.
I think if we decide to move to a commercial kitchen, the next step would be getting the funding for it, and I think I think that's possible because we've been doing. So I got rid of my food truck, which was, I obviously had a loan on that, so that's taken care of now. And then, I obviously have some other business loans that have to be taken care of. But I believe we did get funding for a restaurant in Newark, but it got sold at right as soon as I got the funding for it. So I think the possibility of getting funding is there, but I also know that commercial kitchens are very expensive to either rent or, own. So definitely something that needs to be looked into though. So yeah, we're kind of deciding if the next best step would be open a completely new restaurant, not even new restaurant, just the same thing that we're doing at Duction in a new spot, or go the commercial kitchen route, which in my head I think the commercial kitchen would be better if we're going to focus solely on caterings because then there's a lot less uh, stuff that can go wrong because obviously opening a new restaurant would be way more difficult than just having a commercial kitchen that's solely dedicated to caterings. um,
So the issue is, again, it's just the amount of food that can be stored. That's
mhm.
the huge bottleneck, right?
That, and I know eventually if so right now we're like this month and last month and the month before we've had about 35 to 40 caterings. And I know if once we start having to get like 60 to 80 a month, the equipment that we have in the restaurant right now can't handle that much food. Like it just, we don't have enough burners to make enough food to do like three caterings in one day, Right now, we kind of pretty much fuck the restaurant and the chef over when we have two caterings a day, like they have a lot of work to do, which is, they're fine, they're getting paid for it and everything, but it's just like that's basically where they're at. So once we have like 3 4 caterings, sometimes even 5 caterings in a day,
Can
there's
you, would you be able to fit, if you rearrange shit in the restaurant, would you be able to fit more equipment in there to
no,
handle?
no, there's no way. That kitchen is tiny. We would have to like knock down walls going into the restaurant. That restaurant's not even that big. That's the whole problem. Like it's a great restaurant for what it is. Like like even if they weren't doing the caterings, like the restaurant would still be good. But like,
So if you
yeah,
if we figured out the store situation, that's not going to help because the other bottleneck is going to be the equipment. That's what you're saying.
exactly. At some point, we the storage issue will be fine for a little bit, but then once, yeah, like I said, we started hitting like 60 to 80 caterings a month. There's just no way all that equipment can handle it. Yeah,
So,
just
I mean,
thinking.
I was just kind of like writing things in order of like easiest to hardest to do. So building enclosure sounds like the worst. Commercial seems like the second most difficult. The easiest seems to be storage unit, but the problem is that doesn't solve the problem in terms of equipment,
Right.
right? So that doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like in terms of like getting a commercial kitchen, so is it getting a commercial kitchen or moving to another restaurant? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
maybe the restaurant might.
a commercial kitchen, it would be like a, so basically if it was a commercial kitchen now, you'd have your restaurant,
Mhm.
and then you have a commercial kitchen where
Yeah,
you could go in there, create shit, da, 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 and then move things over to your place. You'd have the refrigerator, you'd have the equipment, everything. So it would solve for the food and it would solve for the equipment, which
yeah,
you can take, put at your restaurant, you're good to go.
right.
And and then moving to a completely different restaurant that's larger, that's kind of like fucking going from one marriage to another, it sounds like. That's like a big fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I will, so commercial kitchen, and then to me, the next one would be new, different restaurant. I
Yeah,
mean,
either that or maybe like I don't know, like finding another ghost kitchen. Like I had a ghost kitchen before, but like I could just use the ghost kitchen to solely cook catering stuff, you know? That might be which is I mean that's basically what a ghost
what's
kitchen.
what's a ghost kitchen?
It's just like there there's like places out like on the like this is weird. It's just like a big warehouse that has like multiple restaurants in it, like just completely different restaurants, and it's just like to go orders and
Yeah, I
yeah,
got you. Okay.
yeah, a big
So,
full with kitchens.
and would a ghost kitchen solve the problem?
The rent on ghost kitchens is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. But
So a commercial kitchen is going to be more cheap than a ghost kitchen?
I don't know. That's I haven't really looked. I don't even know if they have like commercial kitchens like that to rent in Columbus. That would have to be something I got to figure out because I just need space, basically. I just need a place where I can have someone go in and cook food and then also store whatever ingredients and raw goods we have. But, that's something I have not been able to figure out because once again, I think on average the rent for a ghost kitchen was like 7,500 to 10,000 a month, which is just
Okay, that's expensive, yeah. That's
crazy. Yeah.
7,500 to 10K per month. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably not the move. Commercial kitchen, I would assume that's like even more expensive, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if there's a place like that in Columbus that would do that. Like I would have to like go to some failing restaurant and
Mm.
agree to pay their rent or something to use their space and like
Okay, cool. So I'm starting to see the problem.
yeah.
Uh, okay, so step one, so the bottleneck is the equipment and the food. Step one, finding a chef. Not easy, but not the most difficult thing to do. We need to find a way to store the shit, and we can't do a storage unit. I mean, can you put equipment in a storage unit, bro?
No, not because it has to be we have a bunch of licenses that we have to go through to like the catering business like this past year we had to also go through the agricultural department and then have like a bunch of new licenses and stuff. So like the place that we make the food in always has to be like up to like health code and whatnot. Yeah.
The only way I would do one of these. So obviously this one's out. We can't say that. Building the enclosure, it just seems like that would be like a drooling monthly, like 6 months process and just a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
Ghost kitchen and this seem like option, but I mean, with the amount of revenue and profit you guys are doing, the only way that makes sense is you probably, it sounds like you're not worried about locking in some contracts, but I would be careful about cash flow first and foremost.
Hmm.
I would entertain the idea of like potentially moving into one of these two.
Yeah.
I probably would do a ghost kitchen or a commercial kitchen as opposed to moving to a completely different restaurant. That's me. I mean, you guys have been there for fucking like
Right
15.
now is just I don't think it's the right time to open up a completely new restaurant. I think what we're doing with the restaurant is good, and I think the caterings have a lot more potential with a lot less work and a lot less overhead and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you were moving down this route and then just getting more so I would probably flip this and I would just focus on getting more contracts first, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I would focus on getting more contracts. I mean, step one is like I would just say so plan of action is step one would be get more contracts, some kind of way, like future contracts or like pay in full. I don't know what the fuck it is, so that you guys know, like, hey, it makes sense for us to increase our overhead from, I don't know, what do you guys pay, 5,000 to like 75. It has to make sense. So step one is just like knowing you're gonna have the cash flow. Step two, actually no, step one is like research cost of store cost of commercial kitchen versus ghost kitchen and other similar opportunities opportunities. That's the first thing I would do is figure out those costs. The second thing I would then do is like secure contracts to make sure I'm good for 6 months.
That's fair.
Step three is then 6 months to cover additional cost of rent plus chef. Um, and then I would find chef. Yeah, that's kind of what I would do if I were trying to fix this.
Yeah.
I the next thing I want to do, bro, is like, I mean, we can spend a little bit of time here if you want, but the next thing I want to do is I wanted to kind of figure out what the process would look like if you wanted to grow the pace thing. And the reason I wanted to do it this way is to see if there's any overlap.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we need a fucking commercial space anyways to do this shit, well then fuck, we start here, get
Mhm.
this running, and then you start going into the pace thing. And
Yeah.
I think your head was too.
Yeah. I think that if we can, I think that's the whole goal is to do both of these things in tandem with each other. And like, obviously, I'll be focused in on the catering side of things, and then my dad's going to take the paste and run with that until, he's not able to. And then he's going to have me, take over that. But it'll come obviously when the catering stuff is
So
at
what
a
would the process be of, so we've already talked about the catering business and growing that. What would the process be to grow the paste stuff?
Um, so right now we're doing all the branding for it, and we're creating the different like sizes and figuring out how much the cost of it of everything is, like down to each and every single spice that we're putting into it. And like obviously we've already started selling it to this 4 restaurants. And um I think the next step would have to be selling it. Right now we have to find more restaurants to use it. I think that's just gonna that the only way for us to do that is right now just to on the ground, like literally just go into restaurants and just show them what we have. Like we've just been giving restaurants free samples and stuff. Like we just give it to them and say, use this. If you like it, let us know what you think. Obviously, we explain all of it, and we're also creating all like the content for the restaurants on like how to actually use the paste and how to actually make it taste good and do it the correct way. So there's like consistency with the taste of the biryanis, and obviously they can do their own thing with it. But yeah, I think everybody that we have given it to, even people who, there's people who are in the restaurant, they've been in the restaurant industry, and like they've done it, and they've seen the product, and they've said this is, a really good idea. They're like, obviously there's already like biryani masalas that you can find in like the Indian store and stuff, but there's no one selling wholesale like big tubs of paste to restaurants. This is solely just for restaurants. Like we're not trying to go into retail right now or do anything like that. We're just trying to sell only to restaurants. And like we have a specific type of Indian restaurant that we're selling to, which is the mostly Punjabi Indian restaurants, because they're the ones in the industry that do like the most biryanis. Like they're the ones doing like these big weddings and these big like events and everything where they need to have those big pots of biryani and everything. So like we have our target audience that we're trying to like get to right now. And I think if we just work at it and we get that commercial space, like you said, we can do both at the same time. Like we can do the catering in that commercial kitchen, and we can do the biryani paste in that kitchen. So
You can, whether you get the money, bro, from here, whether you get the money from here selling more contracts, or your dad just, I don't know how you guys have a system in place. I'm guessing you guys are just hitting up the local places. I mean, I would definitely have a like a lead source of
mhm,
like fucking hundreds of restaurants, bro,
yeah,
and calling, bro, like cold calling, reaching out, starting conversations. I would have your, I would have an Instagram. I would brand that appropriately, have testimonials, have a bunch of shit to like really brand, like, oh my God, this shit's so good.
yeah,
Um, like that kind of but like you can, whether you close deals from here or you close deals from selling to more restaurants, now you guys have like, okay, it makes sense to open up the commercial space.
right.
That's pretty much what I think that's the route
Yeah,
that I.
I think the restaurant can probably handle making like 200 to 300 buckets a month. So once we hit that limit, then that would be the
And is the bottleneck for the masala, is that again, is that food or is that equipment or both for the masala?
Both. I mean, it takes a lot of time to make that masala. Like anybody can do it. You don't need a person that like is like an expert in making biryani to do that. It's just like if you have an ingredients list, it, but you need like really, really heavy grinders and
Yeah.
mix stuff like that. That
So yeah,
they're
limiting factor in both cases is space, right? So
yeah,
step one is you guys got to secure contracts to ensure that you guys have enough money to support your ability to invest in the next thing, which is the commercial space. Once you have the commercial space, well, then you get
yeah, yeah. Because right now we're trying to like on the catering side of things, we're trying to compete with like BB Bop and Jersey Mike's, and those are all Cadoba. I think is the other one. Like they're all very large, already established chains, So
right.
trying to with them is difficult, but that's eventually what I want to get to is the catering is just like run. I want to hire managers to take care of this and like they handle all this stuff so I can focus on other stuff. So that's kind of what the goal is for the caterings. I don't think there's like a I don't. I think the limit is very high for the caterings, just as much as it is for the biryani masala. But I think right now the caterings have a lot more potential to just like keep growing. Which I think you're right. The commercial space needs to come, whether it's through more contracts with the caterings or if we're selling that paste to any other restaurants. Like whichever one is bringing the money in, as long as we have that money coming in, that's what's will afford us the commercial kitchen. So yeah, that makes sense.
Step one is just sales, bro. Whether it's again whoever's selling the paste or
Yeah,
um who's selling that. And again, it sounds like you guys already have that down. You guys have systems for that. Awesome. Step two, get actually step one is like before you even do that, step one is do the research to figure out how much it's going to cost for the commercial space or whatever. Pick
yeah,
that, pick that place, wherever the fuck you guys are going to be. Pick that place, do your research, do your due diligence, and be like, okay, this is the spot that we're going to go to. All of your resources, time, energy are focused on finding the perfect location. Like for me, it sounds like that's the most important thing.
yeah,
Once you are settled on that, it's like, okay, cool, that's where we're going. Now, step two is focusing on again making sales through catering, making sales through paste in order to say, hey, look, we can afford that. Step three is now go in there and gruel out for 6 months. Like push yourself to the limit in terms of doing as many caterings and as many um pace as possible. Once you've done that for 6 months, now and then you look at your numbers and you realize what is more profitable, what makes you the most dollars per hour. What makes the most dollars per hour? What is the most profitable? Not the most revenue, but what is the most profitable for the least amount of time, energy, resources that can be scaled for this? And then you just go all in on that.
right,
And either way, whether it's going to be catering or it's going to be the pace, you're going to still need that location anyways.
right.
So you can't really fuck that up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going
Fair.
through my
That's fair. Cool. No, that all makes sense.
yeah, bro. My computer's about. Let me just make sure it's just charging real quick, bro.
You're good.
Um, so yeah, bro. Other thoughts, bro? Questions, thoughts, comments, like I don't know, ideas you want to bounce off me. Like to me, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry after we've kind of like worked through it.
No, yeah, I think no, all that makes sense to me. I think now I have a good idea of like which direction to go in and like what I need to. Yeah, I think I just need to focus in on getting more revenue coming in just in case, and to build the get towards that commercial kitchen. Yeah, I think that's the. You're right. I think as shitty as it sounds, I think we all just have to work a little bit hard for the next 6 months, including all the chefs and whoever's doing these caterings and everything. I think we all just need to do a little bit more just so we can get to that next step.
Yep. It's gonna, yeah. But again, step one is just figure out what your costs truly are, right? So that's finding the location, figuring out what the actual hard cost would be to get the equipment in there, to rent there, the additional chef there. What do the costs really look like? Is that an additional 7,000, 5,000, whatever? And then you can reverse engineer, okay, how many contracts do we need to close? What do we exactly need to do to get there?
Yeah,
And
that
from
makes
there, And then from there, once you're there, just grind your ass for 6 months and you'll kind of figure out what direction to go into at that point, I think.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate the advice, man. I appreciate it very much.
Welcome, bro. Hey, do you want to introduce yourself? Hey guys, I'll give you a quick introduction. Actually, I'll do a quick introduction for you. So, uh, Righteous is in Columbus, Ohio. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Estelon is in Columbus, Ohio. Who I think it's so me, Estelon, Raj, and then Righteous. Yeah. So us four in Columbus, Ohio. So, anyways, Raj, I've known from my college days. So he knew me when I was a fucking degenerate. I'm still a degenerate, but he, he knew me. He saw the worst of me. Um, and I remember, I think I forget what it was, but like me and him started talking about like cameras and stuff. And Raj, I don't think you even know this, bro. You're the first purchaser of the Sun American cheat code. Do you know that?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, bro. So I launched ads. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. And then I saw this money in my bank account. I'm like, where did this come from? And then I reversed. I'm like, oh, Raj bought the course.
Yeah, man.
And we're just like shooting this shit. We're at a restaurant and we were just, I think it was like a Panera. We were just shooting this shit. I'm like, yeah, man. So I launched this thing. I'm going to try to do this thing. Next thing I know, he buys it. Cool. So anyways, Raj, bro, if you want to like just say what's up to the guys, we're all family here. We're all from the San Marco Chico. Anything like share with them, feel free to.
So obviously, like at one point, I thought I was gonna, do all this like videography and photography stuff, and like it was great, but I think you have to have like a crazy, crazy passion for it, which I just, I kind of fell out of it. But the stuff that, I was learning, like honestly, like all the sales stuff that I know right now comes from like that's kind of where it started. Like all this selling that I'm doing right now for these caterings and like this pace and everything, like I did that, that came from starting like this kind of stuff. But yeah, me and Ghost have known each other for a long time. Like it's been, I don't even know how many years, dude. But yeah, no, I mean, great dude to learn from. Obviously, like even though I didn't continue doing marketing for other things and like, I kind of completely dropped the videography and photography stuff. I think like what I learned was just like the like find something that you really love to do and just like go in on it. Like selling for me right now is so easy because like I love the food that we make and like I actually believe in the stuff that we do and I love feeding people. So like, I love what I do right now, even though it's like the most work I've ever done in my life. Like I still, I get to do whatever I want to do every day in terms of, you know, I don't, and I worked in tech for 13 years and that sucks. So like, this is way better than that. So
Oh yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, so I guess, I do think that's like, I think it's an important take is like, I see a lot of people that hop in for different reasons, like, oh, I love videographer. I remember there was a time where you just got really passionate. I do remember that. And I remember you like traveled, I think it was Mexico, and I saw your photos and videos. I was like, holy shit, like your shit's gotten really good.
yeah,
So I remember that. But yeah, definitely guys, like longevity is like, I think I got this from Naval Ravikant. He said something along the lines of like, do what feels like play to you but looks like work to others. Like if you can find that one thing that looks like work to other but feels like play to you, you're gonna make a shit ton of money, especially if there's like a huge value to that in the marketplace that people pay for. Um,
but
that
learning
being
how to sell was definitely like the biggest thing that I needed. Like if I didn't know how to sell like that, there's no way you can do anything. Like honestly, like I don't know. It's weird to think about like everything that you're doing is sales if you want to like, scale things and make anything bigger. Like it's all about just being able to sell it and believing in what you sell.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure, man. It's all sales, man. For anybody that's here that kind of like came in midway through or whatever, me and Raj, basically he's got like this paste that he's trying to sell, and I didn't know exactly what it was. I thought it was like some $2 thing, and it turns out this paste like saves businesses thousands of dollars potentially a month, and you just didn't know whether to scale that or like this catering side. And if you guys want to go back and just watch this call at the very beginning, I think we came to a pretty good conclusion of like what we need to do step by step. But does anybody have like any questions for Raj in terms of like just restaurants? Raj, I don't know if you got to get going. I don't want to keep you long, but
like it's yeah, I'm good. A few more
does
minutes.
anybody have any questions or any? I don't know that anybody has any curiosities or questions regarding restaurants. We had a member, Raj, who was like only doing restaurants, like that was his niche. So
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody here has any questions regarding restaurants or anything like that. Righteous, Estelon, Mason, anybody have anything you wanted to share with Raj before kind of conclude this segment of our call?
I had something I wanted to add. How's it going, Raj?
Good, man.
Hey man, so here in the West Side, there's this food truck, and it's pretty well established. It's pretty popular. And what I saw that they added recently, literally as of last week when I went over there, now they have it's almost like a trailer slash truck where I seen them carrying things out of there into the actual food truck.
Oh,
So I think they did that to add storage. So I don't know if that's something that's just an idea. So that's something to add storage that we're getting. I seen them getting like huge boxes of food from
mm,
there. It looks like it could be like a
yeah.
freezer type of thing. And it's like next to it. It's not part of the food truck, but it's like right next to it.
Oh,
Um, so storage. I know that you were mentioning storage and stuff like that. So maybe that might be of
yeah. No, I appreciate that.
for sure.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that, bro.
Yeah.
Raj, anything else, bro? Anything else you want to go over?
I appreciate your time, dude, and I appreciate everybody hanging out to listen to us go back and forth about something that they probably have no idea about. I appreciate you guys.
Sure.
No, I
Uh,
appreciate time though for sure.
just
Thank you.
hit me up, bro. Keep me
Yeah,
posted. I'd be curious to hear kind of what happens. And I
definitely.
think there's a lot of opportunity, man. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
After this, like, I do have light bulbs that are going off in terms of like other opportunities that pertain to this. And so
yeah,
I can share those through text if you're interested.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
cool, man. Just hit me up and we'll just take it from there then. Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Cheers, bro.
See you guys.
So hopefully you guys got some value from that. Just kind of working through his situation. I think where Mosey talks about this is like the theory of constraint. So like what is the bottleneck? And as you guys know, we do that through our stuff like traffic, leads, nurturing, sales, operational drag, and then reselling. So I'm always just like kind of thinking through like what is the constraint and then just like solving for that. So I guess we did that for him. Turns out that he just needs a location, and then from there he can kind of figure out what he needs to do from there. So hopefully you guys got some value from that. Let's see here. Let's get started. Um, cool. Yeah, so it's firing off leads again. Hell yeah, cool. So what's up, bro?
What's going on, Coach Sheik? Mason, how y'all doing?
Chilling.
I've been
So
pretty, man. Really just focusing on like the financial objection script and just going through still going through your doc. I was able to book one sales call for this week, but I haven't gotten anything else yet. So, because I've only gotten 3 leads since I restarted that ad. So I'm just kind of waiting on some leads to come in. I've just been trying to sharpen my skills and stay ready. Um, Client seems pretty happy. Just waiting to get him some leads. So, um, that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
cool. So I'll have a look at your Excel sheet. Anything in particular that you wanted to talk about, other than obviously like providing the update? Is there anything in particular that you had a question about, or anything, an area that you want to focus on today?
Um, Maybe if we have time, really just reviewing that discovery call that I posted in there. So I felt like I did good, but I know there's probably some things where I could be better at. So
Cool. All right. So in that case, let's pull up your Excel and then we'll kind of go from you. I don't know what Esnon's questions are, Aiden's, Tenny's. I don't think there's a lot of questions, so we should be able to, uh, fingers crossed, we'll be able to do a review of discovery call, maybe even a sales call, but we'll see. It depends on time. Um, so righteous.
oh, I'm glad you said sales call because I did have another sales call last week. I think I did really good, but I made a mistake on the discovery call and somehow maybe I got like confused and I like told him like he can get started for $500, and I think that he thought that that's what the price was,
I see.
or like my total fee was. So when
Right.
I was going over ad spend and everything like that, that might have kind of confused him. But um, other than that, I did good. I was definitely practicing my script, the pitching the price. I pitched the price really well, and then when I was going through the objection, um, Hanlon he lost connection of it on his Zoom call, like disconnected. And so we were texting. I was trying to get him back on, and he said that he just, wanted to think about it and everything. So I knew, I was like, damn, I fucked up again.
Uh,
So
that's a connection thing. I mean, I feel like you could have probably came back from that, but keep going. Say what you're gonna say.
yeah. Another thing on the sales call, what was it? We did have a little issue with his camera, but we kind of talked through that. Like, he ended up popping back on, and I didn't start until we made sure everything was crystal clear, and I was able to see his face. So that was good. I'm trying to think, maybe was there anything else that came up on that call? I think that was it. But I did just want to let you know I did have another sales call, but I wasn't able to get that closed. So.
Did you record that one?
Yeah. And I didn't post it. I didn't put it in my the
What
Google
else?
that I can update it or post it in here if you want to check that one out, or we
That
can
was
read
gonna,
that instead of the discovery.
that was gonna be my question. Is like, do you feel like you would get value more from the discovery call or the sales call?
That's a good question. I honestly, right now for me, maybe this discovery, just because like right now I feel like I'm not having as many people show up to the sales call as I would like. So maybe just kind of diving deeper and seeing, what if I'm saying anything wrong or if there's something I need to adjust on the discovery call first. But I honestly do feel like that sales call it went really good. Like I was proud of myself, even though I didn't get the close. Like he hung up. Like I'm like, in terms of sitting on things and making sure I'm tying my slides back to him. That was everything was good there. Um,
What do you think? So let's say theoretically. So you say 500 and then he says something like, "Oh, it's too expensive, da, da, da. I didn't know it was going to be that much." And then the call ended after that. Like the disconnect happened after that in terms of like the internet. Is that what happened or
Okay, yeah, that actually brought it back up in my head when you mentioned that. So I went over pricing. I did the, price of our program is 2,083 a month, which equates to 6,250 over the course of 3 months, or you can prepay. So I went through that spiel. And then after that, he was like, I thought it was gonna be 500 because I said that on the discovery call. And then, I told him, most of our clients pay up front, but we have, payment plans for them to get started. Uh,
sales call, the financial objection script?
yeah.
So go
And then,
ahead, tell me, keep telling me what you're going to do. Keep telling me what you're walking through. But my question, what I'm trying to ultimately get at is like, what do you think you could have done different? I have a suggestion for the next time you run into something like this, which should be rare. But I'll give you a suggestion for like what I would have maybe done. But go ahead and keep telling me like what you're saying, what you're doing.
yeah. So when he threw out I thought it was 500, I just, I told him, yeah, you can get started for 500 or whatever. And then I was like, if we put money to a side, is everything, oh, how do you put it? If you can put money to a side, how do you feel about the overall process? And that's when like he said he felt good about the overall process. He really wants to do it. And then when I was trying to get to that second line of let me pull it. Well, yeah, the second line on that script, just going like, okay, so it's not should I do this type of thing? It's, how do I make this work for me? That's when it kind of got disconnected.
Okay. So go ahead and walk me through what you would have said and kind of play out the conversation for me.
If it was
So you say that line, what do you think he would have said? And then to that, what you have said, and just let's play it out.
Okay, yeah. So if I say all that and he says, it's something that he really wants to do, that's when, I still have to like study that part, but that's when I can kind of go into, asking him, if it's okay to have a, open-ended conversation, I mean, about his finances, and then try to get down to see how much cash he has on hand from there.
Yeah. Um, so let's come in here. So I put this inside of the new funnel. Um, so I believe I put, yeah, so I put the sales script down. I put the script down here for the financial objection, right? So I hear you. I appreciate that for a second. Let's pretend money's out of the question. Ultimately, how do you feel about the problem? And by the way, when it comes to this, what we're talking about is like the mechanism, right? So you're add to this, to this, to this. So that's part of it. But then the other part of it is also like the support, right? Here, we're going to give you this course material. We're going to be in here in Slack with you. Like it's everything, right? It's not just like the mechanism, but it's also the support. So how do you feel about everything? So I bring that up because you can kind of bring that up. You can say that the next time you go through this objection is like, cool. So I hear you, understood, hear you. Price aside, how do you feel about the overall process? And so what I mean by the overall process, I mean the strategy I shared with you earlier, from the ad to this page to this page, this page, as well as the support that we're going to be offering you throughout the next the next 30 to 90 days. How do you feel about all of that? Right? So you can say all of that instead of just like the overall process. That's kind of vague. That's the one thing I don't really like about core instinct. It's a little bit vague. So if you tie it back to like the specific things you mentioned, now they're going to be now they will really see the value and be like, I feel really good or I don't feel good about it.
I
Right. So and then, okay, so to be clear, it's not a matter of should, but how do I make this work? Right. And then he ended pretty much the call ended it. So then you were planning on going into this, yeah?
yes, yeah, that
Cool. But here's the thing, we allowed them to break it up depending. I don't really have a payment plan, da da da. Da. So what's your cash on hand? So I think this is all fine, but here's the thing. I feel like if it were me, I think I would maybe tweak this. And so I think the way I would say it is, I think it's tough to know exactly, but I think I would work my way through this, do the cash on hand, and then see if he has the funds. And then from there, I think that what's going to happen is he's still going to be like, nah, bro, because what happened is the price anchor fucked him up, like you said. You can't pay somebody 10 grand and then pay them like 8 grand a month after that. Nobody likes that shit. Similarly, you can't tell somebody 500 and then move it to 2000. So he's still going to give you some bullshit. And so from there, then what you can do is you can go into, look, here's a deal in your particular case, I want you to feel good about it. I want you to feel good about what we're offering here. So what I'd like to do for you is this. The price is the price. If I were to go down price right now, you wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't be a man of my word. You wouldn't trust me. And so what can you trust me for in the future? So what I'd like to do for you is because I believe in our system, I believe it can really help you, is I would go ahead and I'd like to honor the $500 for you, but only for the first month. So what we can do is we can go ahead and get started for $500. Assuming you want to continue months 2, 3, 4, which I know you will because it's going to get you great remaining results, you can either pay off the remaining balance of 1,500, whatever it is, and then we'll do month to month, $2,083 a month thereafter. Or if you cover the remaining balance of 5,000, we'll go and start on a discount. Either way, my point in saying all this is I'd like to just get you started for $500. Man of my word, give that to you for the first 30 days, get you some amazing results, and then from there we can take the ball. We can take it from there. I'm being hazy and fussy with it, but that's the overall idea. So the idea is we give it to him for $500, but with the contingency. That's how I'd most likely pay it. So if you run into the situation again in the future, which you probably won't, it's a 1 in 100 chance that you're going to, where people misunderstand you. That's what you do. You still honor it. So if they think it's 500, you say fine. Because now what the fuck are they going to say?
right,
Like they were ready to pay 500. So it's like, all right, motherfucker, I'm giving it to you for 500. If I do my part, you pay me the remaining balance. You don't have to. I have no obligation. If you want to pay the 500 and leave after the month, cool. And that's how I would position too. I've done that in the past. I've done it where it's like, hey, you can pay me 1,666. That's the price of the course. I'll give you a month of coaching. And then afterwards, you pay off the remaining balance if you want to stay in the coaching program. If not, cool, you bounce. It's basically like you get the course and a free month of coaching. So it's like they get it for $500. And if they want to bounce after that, they can. If not, then they have to pay you the remaining balance. Does that make sense? So it's kind of a no-brainer offer.
right. Because like you said, you already, yeah. Now that makes sense.
They agree to the 500, you're giving it to them for that.
Yeah, like you said, what can he say? You honored the deal, so yeah. And that's if he didn't hang up, I would have did.
Okay, there you go then. We're good. We're on the same page then. If that's what was brewing, perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I wasn't trying to turn him away. I just wasn't trying to be so quick to be like, all right, deal, or try to
Right.
jump into how
Right. No,
much cash you got on hand. Because I almost did that before, and I was like, but I just didn't say it because I'm like, it ain't gonna go right. Like, so I just was like, all right, well, what if I can do this and kind of worked it out that way.
um,
But no, that was helpful. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, it's just like I don't you have to I don't have an answer for it right now. Like I have to kind of sleep on it. The thing is like I just don't know that this script would have worked for that whole thing. Because I think that this applies. Like, hey, should I, could I, whatever. Like all this applies, but then this whole payment plan, I don't really do payment plans. I don't really this doesn't really make sense.
Uh,
For, that's what I was trying to get at, is this doesn't really make sense in terms of you transitioning from this to the $500. It's kind of like you do this, you kind of skip this, and you kind of go into that being said, based off of your circumstances and the conversation we've had, are you open to having an open conversation regarding your finances? And then we can see if we can work something out, make something work because of the miscommunication. He says, yeah. Cool. So what's your cash on hand right now? And then you go into your making your offer of, hey, look, here's a deal. I know me and you spoke about the price is the price. I wouldn't be a man of my word, and you wouldn't trust me if I, dishonor that word right now. Here's what I'm willing to do for you. And then you go into the 500. That's, I think, what I was trying to make apparent to you. So you still do this, you tweak this up a little bit, you do this, and then you say the $500 thing. That's how you'd want to do it. This just wouldn't make sense. Um,
and
doing
you're
this
you're talking about in this particular situation,
this
just because
particular
of how I positioned it on the.
exactly,
Okay, okay.
because
Well,
of your circumstance, because of what happened, you saying this would just confuse them. Remember how we talked about like how again, this was one of the voices I left you where like you're saying something and you don't fully know why you're saying, you're just kind of saying it to say it. And
yeah,
it adds confusion to people. It's like that's a specific thing that pertains to me or specific that pertains to Cam. This right here, again, if you just said it, you would have confused the fuck out of you. You probably wouldn't have closed the deal. So you have to think critically. That's the lesson I'm trying to get across. You have to think critically about your unique circumstance, your unique situation, and tweak this based off of who you are and like what's happened. So this still makes sense. This still makes sense. This does not make sense. Most people pay in full, but some people we allow them to break it up to pay. Since your goal is to do this, you want to explore more ways that we can make it. No, because he doesn't care about payment plans. He doesn't want to explore. He wants to fucking pay you $500.
right.
He
I
doesn't want to do any of this shit. So if you said that, he'd be like, no, I don't fucking want to do this.
would have probably
So
hung the call up or something like, all right, yeah, this guy's pissing me off.
this wouldn't make sense. Um, this would you tweak it. It's like so based instead of saying based off your financial situation, we might be able to figure out how to make things work for you today, or at least make a game plan. You would say that being said, based off of this current situation in terms of the misunderstanding, where you thought I said one thing, but really I meant something else, we might be able to figure something out to make this work for you today, or at least create some kind of game plan in the future. That being said, for me to do something like that, are you comfortable having an open conversation regarding where you're at financially? And then from there, I'll make a proposition to you and we'll kind of take it from there. Is that something you're open to? He says, yeah. Cool. Well, what's your cash on hand right now? What are we talking about right now? And hopefully he feels comfortable enough to open up. And then from there, then you go into, hey, look, I understand. Here's the deal. Based off of your situation, not even the cash that you have on hand, I want to be a man of my word and I want to honor it, but I want to make sure that you're good too. And then you go into the $500 thing. That's how you would want to say it. So that's the lesson I'm trying to get across to you. Don't just like recite this blindly.
Okay, no, that's clear, 100%.
Okay, good, good. All right. So we talked about the sales thing. Let's look at your KPIs real quick. So you want me to look at the weekly or the monthly?
You can look at monthly.
Okay. So monthly, so $110 cost. Okay, so cost per discovery calls for it actually. All right, wait, hold on. Let's see this past. So I actually let me look at the week because I want to see what happened this past week. So this is the week before, and you spent $200 the week before, right?
Yeah,
So okay. So 13 and 20th. Okay. So we got 3 book calls this past week. $66 for a book call. So we're okay. It's not the cheapest you've had, but it's okay. Calendar conversion rate 6%. So we're still okay. So that's why. So your conversion dropped a little bit. Um, so keep an eye on this, bro. We want to try to get this up to like your ads are still good, but we might need to like have an. I mean, it's fine for now if you don't want to fuck with it. Because if they're giving you results at this, you're good actually. I just want to see like around 10% for your counter conversion rate if possible. 2 So live discovery call. So out of the three people, you spoke with two. So you got both of them to say yeah. Cost per sales call booked. Oh, wait, actually, no. So you spoke to two people and you got one of them to say yeah to sales call.
Yeah, one to say yeah.
The other, like, what happened? They just weren't a good fit, or
Let me. No, it wasn't a good fit. Let me see. I think it was honestly just a sales thing, and when I called the guy, my energy just might not have been great
okay.
or something because he like stopped me. Let me see. Yeah, that was the Prince Joseph guy. He like stopped me on the first question and was like, "Nah, I want to ask you some questions," and it did not go good from there. But I got a lead in that same day. It was the one I booked the sales call with, which is the discovery call. I was like, hopefully I can review just to make sure like I'm not tripping or losing my mind. But just from listening to that call, I felt like, okay, yeah, my tonality and just my energy, the way I came off just might have sound scripted. So he probably was like, yeah, fuck all this. Because I come to find it, a lot of them, they talk to a bunch of marketers and stuff like that, and they all say the same shit. So it's like, if you don't sound professional on the phone, like they're probably going to, hang up or something or just give you some bullshit and say,
So
I'm
when you
calling.
so when you say that, what percentage of people would you say are already speaking to other marketers, have already spoken to other marketers?
That, not all of them has spoken to like other marketers, but like are speaking to other marketers, but they have talked to people in the past, like just from their experience from the ads or trying to find marketers. I guess that's what I meant to say. Like they just say, like, I've had a couple of these calls and all these guys say the same thing type of stuff.
So that's what I'm saying is like, how often are you running into that? Like where people say that to you? What percentage of the time?
Uh Maybe 10%, 10, 20. It's not nothing too crazy to worry about.
If you said it was like 70%, then I would say maybe there's something we tweak on the discovery call, right? Maybe you say something like, hey, before I get into it, just really quick, I don't know if you've done the song and rodeo before. If you have, then I'm not going to take you through the whole song and dance. If you are you currently speaking to other markers? Have you spoken to other? Again, those are some thoughts. We don't have to worry about that if you're only having 10% of people saying that to you. So you're good there.
Yeah.
So this is the one that you had the sales call and then the call ended because of the Wi-Fi, right?
That was oh shoot. Yes, yep, yes. You're right. Yep, that's the one that I had and I didn't close.
Okay. And then what was this one last week?
That was the one I closed.
Okay, right, right, right. And then what was this one?
Uh, that was the guy that said reminded you of kind of like Eric, I believe.
Eric.
I mean, not Eric. What's his name? Drew. I said Eric.
Remind me of Drew.
Yeah, because it was the guy that I was supposed to get his wife on the call, and I didn't
Yeah.
do a
And then
good job at setting the call for later. That was when you told me like, yeah, next time that happens, try to
so
push it for later that day instead of doing the call and I'll send you the loom, y'all can watch it and get back to me type of thing. So that was that deal.
and then walk me through, remind me of these two again.
Those two are, let me see, September 26th. Joseph. So those sales calls, I was not doing any of the story or anything like that on my sales calls.
I'm trying to make a point here. That's why I'm asking these things. I'm going to make a point here in a second. So do
No,
you
you're
just,
good.
you remember just so I, because like, for example, you just jog in my memory. I remember now. So I know this guy. I know this guy. I know this guy. I remember who are these two guys now?
Yeah. So one of those leads was actually a good one. I just didn't close the deal. His name was Joseph Moorhead. And He actually liked everything I had to say, but he had business partners that he discussed with. It was weird. He had like four business partners. So I don't know if that was like a red flag or something, but it was a bunch of business. I've never heard of like four business partners in one, like, together.
Okay.
And the other guy, August.
So feel free to find that. So here's what I'm ultimately getting at, bro, is I'm looking at your numbers. Actually, yeah, it's not even important that you get into like who that person is. When it comes to the time and energy you're spending right now, right? So obviously you did the 6 figure 6 weeks, you did the free defeat, and then now you're doing this call funnel. In terms of time and energy, approximately how many hours do you feel like you're working now? Because you're not doing a whole lot of calls. Like how many hours do you feel like? Because I mean, you did 3 discovery calls the whole week. You did, you did 2 discovery calls the whole week, and you did a sales call. Maybe you're following up some old leads, but like how many hours are you putting in? I would say not that many. It seems like.
No, like, mean an hour or two at the most.
Week?
Maybe.
Like no, how many hours?
Oh, week. So that was like a day. I'm thinking like an hour or two a day. So
So here's what I'm getting at. So if you're only spending an hour or two, here's what I think you're at, right? For a long time, bro, I was worried about you with sales. I am not worried about you anymore. I don't think you're good news.
yeah, I was like a little worried. I'm like, he probably got a little things he need to work out still. So
Bro, I think you graduated, bro. I feel good. Like right now, what I'm looking at is this. So ads and marketing, sales, service delivery. Okay. So these are the key components. When it comes to your ads and marketing, your numbers are good. Everything's good. Okay. Am I worried? Yeah, a little bit because do you have the skill to constantly pump out creatives and test shit out? You gotta like that's a skill that Aiden's good at. He's really good at constantly pumping out creatives. That's a skill you need to work on and get good at. Because right now we're still in a place where you're like asking me like Kushik, what do I do about this ad set? What do I do about targeting? Da da da. And I'm kind of like just kind of quarterbacking it and then you do it and then it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But for you to get good at this first pillar, you need to build a habit of constantly tweaking up your ads and posting more shit.
I'm glad you said that. But go ahead, finish, because then I'll ask.
When it comes to the sales thing, that's the thing I was really worried about for a long time. And I think we've done the right thing by spending only $200 per week. And if I look at your numbers, you close, again, 1 out of 5 we want to close. These two, I'm just going to say fuck it. This one, I'm going to say fuck it because you weren't practicing the script and doing it the right way. But now it's like, hey, 1 out of 5 people that you talk to, you closed. So it's like in terms of sales, I think you're not 100% there. I know I need to do like a number or 1 or 2 more reviews, but I think you're getting there. I think you're in the place where like, hey, I would trust Righteous to close. If I was spending some money on ads, I would bet on Righteous. I think you're getting to that place. Service delivery, I don't know that yet because this is your first kind of client doing onboarding them and all that stuff. And I think you're gonna need you really need 30 clients, 30 clients before you're good at all these. So my point of saying this right now, bro, is if you can keep your calls under, around $66 or below, you're creating more every single day, carve out like 30 minutes a day or carve out like 2 hours a week on Sundays to just create more ads. Use ChatGPT, create more ads, and just launch them every week, right? If you can do that and then scale up your budget to now instead of spending $200 per week, you could probably go to like fucking $500, bro. You probably go like 500-600 bucks. Like I feel comfortable. I don't know about you. I feel comfortable. If I were in your shoes, I would say, hey, spend, $500 a week, $600 a week. This way you get a close instead of because right now the pace that you're going at, bro, is like 1 close a month. Because your cost per acquisition, 1,200 bucks. Realistically, it's like you do four, 2 sales calls a week. You're gonna close one every like 4 weeks. If you increase your budget, now you close a deal maybe once every 2 weeks. So if you can focus on constantly tweaking up your ads, testing ads out, spending a little bit more money, and I think I feel like you're good enough at sales where you're not going to be blowing through cash. Like it seems like you have it down. Um, then your service you're only gonna get better at that with just time, just more reps. And again, you got Uman's stuff. Uman's getting great results. So I'm not too worried as long as you're copying and pasting what's worked for him and you're doing what's worked, like you're good there. I'm not worried about that. So that's just where I'm at. Like I know I'm saying a lot of words. Point is this. If you want, you're in a place where you can spend more money, do more reps, as long as you're tweaking up ads and staying on top of your ads to make sure you're within KPI. That's ultimately what I just want to get at. If you want to speed things up, otherwise you're going to be at like one client every like 4 or 5 weeks, and it's gonna be. And the reason that it's not a problem, it is a problem in terms of like you hitting a revenue goal if you want a revenue goal, but then it's the other problem is that your rate of learning, you're really slowing down how fast you're going to learn. The more clients you take on, the faster you're going to learn. Right now, you're going to learn really fucking slow. One client every 4 weeks, but you're going to learn slow as fuck.
Yeah,
However, take a client on every 2 weeks or even a client a week, now you're going to learn much faster.
no, that makes sense because I see um the growth that I've kind of came along. So it's like you're not lying. I mean, it's the more reps, the better I'll get because the more information will start sticking. Um,
Before you were in a place where you're doing reps, and I didn't want you to spend more money because like you weren't doing the sales calls the right way. You were skipping out a bunch of steps. You weren't fully understanding what you're saying. Now I can tell, like, you know what the fuck you're saying and why you're saying. Yes, you can work on the way you say it. Yes, you can work on small things, but you're not like draining through money. Like Aiden, I yelled at him, maybe a month or 2 months back, and I'm like, yo, you're going completely off script. That was you like back here. But now, like, you're going on script and everything like that. So it's like, I'm not afraid of you spending more money. I don't think you would waste your budget. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
no, you good. I was just agreeing with you.
So yeah, man. I mean, I just want to kind of give you my 2 cents there. If you want to do something about it, do something about it. If not, you don't have to do anything about it. You just kind of keep going at the pace you want to go at. If you feel comfortable here, it's just like, hey, if you're only spending, you know, 8 hours a week on this agency, you got time to kill, man. You could probably do more.
Yeah, and that would be, a high ROI activity for me would be doing that because I was kind of I didn't know how to really ask that, but like I was like kind of like, what should I do in this stage? So I appreciate that advice because that lets me know what to do moving forward. I see a bunch of people using this Sora app with like the AI. And I was thinking about trying to play with that to like create some video ads and stuff like that. Maybe having them because I remember I went back and watched the video from the last week's coaching call, and you were going over how like you do market research and you go and find ads. And I was like, maybe if I can have a video that's calling out their pain points, that I can possibly get some more traction through video ads. But nah, that was one of my
You, bro.
ideas.
Yeah, no, that's all you. The goal, if I was you, I mean, I looked a little bit into Andrew Media. It's looking at Andrew Media and like testing out different types of ads. I don't, until this day, everybody's saying different things in terms of like how to create ads. So I don't know. I don't have like Hormozy's thing of like create 5 hooks and like one body and like like that shit apparently is not working. I don't know. It's like taking your ad. I don't have like a blueprint for you. Like, do you take like for example, Aiden, he'll take the ad and he'll change the background and make it look completely different. He won't change the copy. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. That's for you. It's like I'm committing, Sundays to just like creating a bunch of ads. Use Sora, do market research and model some shit. I don't know. Do a bunch of stuff and just throw that out there. Right now, here's how I'm like creating some ads, right? So I gave it the gray background ad. So I gave it the dating one and the 6 for 6 weeks, and I was like, "Hey, you're an expert copywriter. You also understand things about buyer sophistication, market segment, and then furthermore, you're an expert regarding dating. I'm gonna drop 2 careers below these ones, and I want you to create something similar to them. Here's a little bit about my niche and my offer, and then, I'm just having it kind of like spit stuff out at me, and then I'm gonna test it out. I don't know if it's gonna fucking work. We'll see. So it's like doing shit like that. It's like it's understanding that, a certain amount of your budget, some things are going to work and some things are not going to work. But the goal is to find a few things that work so well that you're getting $25, $30 book calls, and it's like it becomes worth it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it's just committing, an hour a day or one day a week to testing out, creating a bunch of ads and launching those every week, and just doing more of these discovery sales calls, increasing the volume. And third, and most importantly, bust your butt with your current client. Bust your fucking balls, bust your butt. Work your hardest in terms of communication, everything. It is not, you do not slack in that area. That's where you're going to learn a lot. That's the biggest area that you have to learn is service delivery right now. Like, how do you interact with your clients, make sure they're happy, build course material, all that shit for them. Right. All right. I'm rambling. Other things, bro? Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
Um, I think that's it for me. So I know what to do moving forward. I'm a little excited. So I was a little worried. I know that I'm still laughing at that voice note. He was like, "Yeah, I listened to I listened to your onboarding, man. You got a lot of work to do. It's only been 10 seconds in."
So that's
Yeah,
the kind of to work on, but the only way you're gonna get better is doing way more reps, right? It's the same thing as discovery sale. You did some discovery sales call, you didn't know if it was good or bad, and then you got feedback. Same thing. You do these onboardings, you do these check-ins, and you give me like, hey, Kushi, here's my onboarding. Here's what are your thoughts? Hey, Kushi, here's what happened. What are your thoughts? And then you're not gonna know until you share it with me and I tell you like, oh, here's where you're fucking up. And we have to do that over and over until and it clicks for you, like, oh, okay, here's the issues I'm having. Just like we're doing with discovery sales calls, we're gonna do that with your service delivery shit.
copy that.
You
Copy
just
that.
have to get you just have to get way more clients and for you to learn, way more clients. Great. Because every 5 sales calls, is one client, right? So you have to do a shit ton more volume to get enough clients because it's gonna be 30 clients before you learn, which is 30 clients times five. That's 150 sales calls, right? You're gonna be taking about 150 sales calls before you're like, okay, I get it. I'm good now. Okay. All right, bro. I'm rambling, so I'm gonna cut it there. Anything else, bro, before I move on to next person?
No, that was it. That's all.
Cool, bro. Hope that helped.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Rivera sounds like he's sick. Overall updated lead slow down again, so I'll be high creation going away. Cool. All right. So general update. Still haven't closed any of those deals from a couple weeks, so that we're looking good. One of them is still looking good, but still work on the others. I'm talking to my buddy Tyler about trying to close a couple of deals, and we're getting together tomorrow to go through my stuff and potentially work out a deal. I started training these 2 girls discovery calls with a free video commercial and try to get my growing at all. And then as I can, I'm going to hire someone to do ads for me for those random businesses coming in. I also might dial in local contractor funnel in so that I can try to close more local trades because their constraint contractors are still copy and paste with the quiz system. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got thoughts on this. I share some of my thoughts regarding, the girls and with Tyler. I do have thoughts on like local contractors again. I don't like it to me, it's like low hanging fruit, bro. Like you're going after low hanging easy shit, but it's not going to get you the 100K,
Yeah.
right? Everything, all the moves that you're making, bro, is like it's short term immediate cash flow, but it's not long term. It's not the thing that's going to ultimately pull the lever. Like even this, like I don't, um, like, okay, so what? You figure out the local contractors, the local quiz for them works. But then what happens when those clients die out? What happens when XYZ, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
anyways,
and for me, I don't mind that as much. I'll say this: the way that I'm set up with Midas Media right now is I get paid a profit share. The only issue is the last several months we haven't had any profit.
right.
So that's just I'm like I'm in short-term fix mode.
I see.
Um,
Wait, hold on. When it comes to Midas Media, what's the revenue look like per month on average, or like the last 3 months?
I think a couple months ago we had like it was 7, it dipped to 7, but it's been like 10 to 12 every month.
And then what are your expenses then?
The big ones are ads. So like that's always something we're trying to do is improve the efficiency of ads and not like ours. Like or not just ours, I should say. We've got a few that are, we spend ads like the free to fee guys kind of a thing. It's like they send us 500 and then we spend a percentage of that trying to, get them leads and stuff. Um, Tenny's pay also comes out of that. So he gets, that comes out of the profit and loss and stuff. Um,
So
yeah,
are
those
you
are like the
like
two biggest things, ad spend and yeah.
are you taking home like are you taking the way it works? Like is it like do you get like a base salary on and then the profit on top of that, or like where's the income coming in for you, dude? Are
That's
you
just
serious?
it, bro.
Are you serious? So nothing the past how long?
3 months, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No
So
profit to take home. So
no,
basically,
and
so who's getting paid these 3 months? Tenny's making money. Who else is making money? Is your partner making money? Anybody else making any? Nobody's making
no,
money.
he's not making any money. And yeah, Tenny's making a little bit. It's not a ton. you know,
Just you taking on average a month?
yeah, so he'll get like 25% of the like whatever whatever we close in like packages. So like right
How
now we
approximately
are
like
was that
approximately is like what is it like 1,500 a month, 2,000 a month? What's the average he's been taking over the last 3 months?
yeah, I think it's like between 25 and 3,500, I think, somewhere in there a month.
That's crazy. So how are you doing? Like, are you burning through like savings for like your overhead, like just life? Like, how are you dealing with stuff?
Yeah, yeah, good question. So basically I've been running ads for weddings, and then my wife does the sales calls and manages all the messages for that. I just kind of hop in every now and again and we'll like turn on ads or turn off ads every now and again. So that's like the main way has been closing weddings. And then she is also working part-time as a teacher, which helps cover some of the bills. But yeah.
So she helps with the teacher stuff part time, and then how much are you guys spending a month on the wedding stuff, and how much are you guys collecting on average?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the month. The last couple weeks we've spent, dang, dude, I don't know if it's been that much. The last couple weeks we've spent like 300 and we've collected at least like 1,500, and that's not including that's 1,500 in deposits, like two or three deposits. I think it's going to be closer to like 2 grand in deposits, and then that's not including what they're going to be spending, over the
Well,
course.
that,
Like,
that's what I'm trying to figure is like I'm trying to figure out the return on ad spend, right? So how much are you guys spending a month, and then what is the contracted revenue right now?
yeah, that's looking pretty solid. Oh, dang, I have to look at the numbers. So the last 2 weeks, I know we've spent like 300, and one that we closed today was 2,700. One that we closed a couple days ago was I think that was like 2,200. And then
What's your cost per acquisition?
hmm, like maybe $100.
What the fuck? Okay, so you guys are spending $100 to close deals that are like 2 grand-ish. And then the money that you guys are making from that, the deposit, that's what's keeping you guys afloat in terms of bills and stuff. And then in terms of Midas Media, okay, so all this stuff that we're talking about, dude, is like I know we're talking about ads and funnels, but this shit's far more important, bro. Um, and this is the stuff that I was kind of like telling you through the voice notes in terms of like structures and but I didn't even know this was happening. Like I got some light bulb moments right now, but okay. So what is I'm gonna suggest something that's gonna come out left field for you, bro. Like now. Uh, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, but what is your what is okay, so walk me through like the last Midas Media and this partnership, like it's been around for what, like 12 months you guys been doing this?
Yeah, technically a little bit longer, but like going pedal to the metal for the last 12 months. Yeah.
Okay. So 12 months. Walk me through, give me just a ballpark of like what is the total revenue that's been collected. Do you have that by any chance?
Actually, yeah.
What I'm trying to figure out is like the revenue, the profit, what you've taken home, kind of just like let's like evaluate what's going on the last 12 months.
Yeah, let me pull up a couple of these things. So I'll pull up I I guess that's one positive thing that which I don't know, I think this is overkill for a marketing agency. It is overkill, but I have all of my books in order. I
Yeah.
have all my he's got a cheap bookkeeper that's really good that he brought to the partnership. So
Yeah.
I can, have everything in QuickBooks sorted out. So over the last 12 months, we've done 114,000 in total sales. Like 90% of that has been since February. So like before February, we were teetering between two and like 3 and 7 grand a month. And then February hit and that was 14K. And then ever since then, it's been like, you know, between 10 and 16K.
Wait, hold on. So let me give me a second here. So so revenue is 140K sales, um 90% since February. Before February, you were at 3.7. And then what was the next thing that you said?
And then ever since February, it's been, except for 1 month, it's been between 10 and 15.
Okay. And then go ahead.
And for the most part, like we've had really good months. Uh, like, I had some months I was bringing home 6 grand, and which is like 60% of profit. Um, the We've had a bunch of, okay, I will say this as well. A couple of like random expenses have been eating at us. Like,
What
we had one lady. Oh, go ahead.
what would be beneficial if you're okay with it, man, is like because I'm doing kind of like a rough thing just now, just for try because I'm gonna try to demonstrate a point, but like I don't know if you feel comfortable or if you're able to like send me your QuickBooks or like a screenshot or like some because I just want to see the 12 months. I want to because hearing that you take home 6K is great, but how many months did you do that? And then what have you taken home the last, 12 months? Like that's like the overall big picture is what I care about.
Yeah, yeah,
So I guess like I mean just give me that number if you can. Like what have you taken home in the last 12 months?
yeah. So let me see if I can. I need to pull up how much. I don't know for whatever. I don't think my QuickBooks will have that. Um, for me specifically. Yeah, sorry, give me another minute.
I'm gonna give you something. I mean, let's see what the number is, but I'm gonna just give you something that just makes you way more money way faster instead of what we've been trying to do, man.
Okay. 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 I might need to do some math on how much I've brought home.
Can you
Or
give me like a rough, it doesn't have to be perfect, just a rough guesstimate.
yeah, that hmm,
Ultimately, here's what I'm trying to figure out. If you want to just give me this number instead, is what is your, if you take your last 12 months take home average per month? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, what is your average take home per month based off the last 12 months?
yeah. Uh, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it has not exactly been, there's been like a couple months that it's been 6 grand, but then there's been, other months it's like two or three. So I guess I guess averaged out, I guess let's say three a month.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a suggestion, all right? All right. Okay, so me and Riviera, dude, we were at this for like a fucking year. And I made an Instagram story about this. I don't know if you ever check out my Instagram, but I was sharing the story with him. Like first, he came to me because we started a conversation because he was getting great results for dentists. So he used my funnel that's within the course for dentist Invisalign. So he used a six-figure suite, closed a dentist. After that, he used the stuff inside of the database, used that exact play guy's dentist results. Then from there, I think maybe he did like one or two more dentists. He hopped on one of our calls, shared how he's getting results and all the stuff he learned. I just kind of had him on a guest. And then from there, I'm like, all right, why don't we just like work together to scale this thing up for dentists? We tried dentists. The issue with dentists was getting book calls. They're the only ones that do instant form. They don't do a call funnel to have a conversation with them. We tried call funnel, we tried instant form, just a bunch of bullshit. Then we moved to HVAC, way too expensive to book calls. Those guys are extremely expensive. Didn't have much luck. And then from there, I think we did the free to fee with the doors and windows. Wasn't having a lot of success with that for various issues. And then finally, like he was just telling me, like, "Hey, dude, I'm doing this thing in my personal life." And I was like, dude, why don't you just fucking like, what are we doing all this time? Like you're fucking sitting under a fucking golden, like a geese that lays golden eggs. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You're doing the same, I think. I think you're doing the same. I think it's the wedding shit, bro. So here's what I would be doing, not scaling up with your wife, because I'm assuming there's the job. I'm assuming there's a time constraint, or else you guys would scale that further. You're obviously not for a reason. Why don't you do this? Why don't you consider this? Why don't you just fucking run ads to wedding filming? You're fucking good at it. You'd get book calls for 30 bucks, and your offer would be something like, hey, we're gonna get you book calls. We're gonna do the sales. We're gonna close the deals for you. You focus on creating. That's what you love doing. You don't need any of the business stuff. You hop on a call and you structure a profit share deal. You build out a funnel, you build all that stuff, they cash, you're cash collecting, and you just keep a certain percentage of it. Your wife clearly knows how to sell. You guys would
Yeah,
easily be past fucking 3K, dude. Like you'd be at like fucking 5, 6, 7K easily.
that's a good point. I've actually thought about that. So I've done it for our wedding. I've done ads for so Tyler, my buddy. That's how I started running ads for weddings was for him. Did damn well for him. Then we broke off on our own, started doing it for us, and it was working like crazy. And then I did it for another one of my friends who's another local wedding photographer, and I booked out her entire year with her. And by the way, she didn't pay me anything to do it, which is fine because I was like happy to get the experience. It's kind of like the cost quiz thing where it's like at first it's like you just want to make sure that it works and things like that, and it did. And I'm actually thinking about working out a commission deal with her because she's raising her prices and she just filled out her calendar like crazy this year. Um, so yeah, that's a that's a good idea.
Oh, to me, it's obvious. Like, dude, you're fucking making 10, 15K. You got like staff, you got this partner, you got all this bullshit. You're not, you have up and down months, like, and we've been at this for a year. Like, it seems, I mean, it's been, 8 months that we've been trying to crack this, and I don't feel like you're making. Again, I sent you a voice. I think I may have sent you a voice note. Maybe it was you or somebody else, where I'm like, I don't just look at success. I look at the rate of success. So when we were doing the free to fee shit, yeah, people were winning, but I was looking at the rate of improvement. I was like, no, this is going to take fucking 2 years before I crack this with these guys. I need to cut it. So I'm looking at you. I'm like looking at your wins. Like, yeah, you got a few closes, but the rate of your success. And again, we got to get Tyler in and we got to do all, and you're talking about like the 6 figure in 6 weeks and training these girls up and just all this craziness, bro. Turn on a funnel, offer a profit share deal, give them an option if they want to do profit share like commission based or just a monthly service fee. And that's it. Just run ads for like wedding filmmakers. Very simple. And have your wife help you with sales. And then once she's good or she is kind of maxed out, bring on Tyler maybe to be like a sales rep or some shit.
Yeah.
You don't need anybody else on your team. You don't need any more costs, anything like I think you much less headache, way easier to scale past. I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems like a no-brainer to do that. What's working, double down on that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
haven't cracked work with these contractors, have a conversation with them. I feel like it's going to be way easier to talk to these wedding filmmakers, and especially if you cut some kind of a deal like commission for the first month, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. One, I feel like that's part of where Cam's success, and we've talked about this a little bit. It's like I feel that to me, from the outside looking in, that's kind of where Cam's success has come in, is he's been in, that industry, that where he's running ads for those people of an industry that he's been in and had firsthand experience. I've seen a lot of people do that exact same thing. And those are a lot of those like almost like guru kind of people. Anyways, and it would just be an easier place to sell from. I think like, look, I do this for my own business here. We do this for us all the time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think it'd be way easier right now. Okay, so what is the constraint? Like, is it so in terms of you and your wife doing more of these, what is the constraint? Is it her work or is it not having the ability to shoot more weddings? Like, what is the constraint that stops you guys from scaling further
Like in weddings by itself.
in weddings for your wife? Yeah.
Uh, I mean, right now, not a whole lot because it's like, put a few dollars in and get a lot more back out. So like right now, the main thing is just before this, because like yeah, like I said, I haven't been bringing anything home the last few months. It was like money to put into ads. And bro, a couple weeks ago, like it was honestly like a gamble. It was like, well, we can't pay this bill anyways, so fuck it. We're gonna make it happen. And we fucking did, and it was awesome. And then we fucking made it happen again. Got a lead on Saturday, closed her yesterday, collected the deposit today, like, and so now it's, you know,
What I'm getting at is the reason I'm asking this question is for a specific reason. Like, what is the constraint though? Like, what's stopping you guys from spending more money on ads, closing more deals, shooting more weddings? Like, is it a lack of desire? Like, we just don't want to do that. We don't want to do more weddings. Like, what is the st thing that's stopping you from doing it? Because like, it's like you make the goal in life is make as many dollars per hour as possible, right? There's if we consider the dollars per hour that you're making through the wedding stuff with your wife versus the dollars per hour you're making in terms of your Midas Media, like and then the dollars per hour she's making from her job, where do you make the most dollars per hour?
yeah, I mean, at this point, definitely the weddings. Um,
So what's
you know,
stopping us from scaling further? Like, what is the reason for not scaling further?
yeah,
I'm
so sorry, my point in saying what I said about the money, because for a second there it was just the money. It was like we don't have the funds to put into the ads. That was like the one limiting factor. And I'm trying to do like SEO stuff, YouTube stuff, even to like try to get more of that organic stuff going. But at this point, it's just you know, a little bit of yeah, Marin's work where it's like she can't take a sales call every single day, but she can take a sales call every other day. So she only works part-time. She only works like every now and again 3 days a week. And so it's like this week she's on fall break. She doesn't have anything going. So it's like we just collected, 900 some odd dollars in a deposit. So I'm wanting to put more of that into ads, book more calls this week and things like that, especially while she's off. She has the time. That's mainly the constraint there is her time because she's the one that handles the sales calls and stuff.
So here's what I would do if I were you, man, is right now I feel very strong about like not doing anything with this experience.
Yeah.
Those girls, fuck your other business owners straight. Just fuck them, dude. Fuck them. Like you should not be in a position that you're in, dude. Seriously, my heart goes out to you. With how smart you are and the results you get, like you should not be in that place, respectfully. Um, and so to me, it's like your issue is just like lack of priorities to increase your dollar per hour. That's what I've just seen over and over again. Um, so if I'm you, I'm gonna sit. So I don't have the answer for you in terms of you running the ads. I think if you ran the ad and said, "Hey, wedding filmmakers, we'll get you booked. We'll do the sales calls. You focus on shooting." I think that'll get you a shit ton of book calls for really cheap. Okay. Now, when you get on that sales call, I think that there's two ways you can position the offer. One way is, hey, you either pay a monthly fee or and if you pay us a monthly fee, we're just going to give you the discovery call, sales call, set them up in your calendar. You do what you need to do. We'll give you a course and everything like that. We'll coach you. Or if you pay us, or if you don't want to do that, you pay us a commission and we're going to take care of the sales calls for you. And I think that you can kind of like maybe set that up on the discovery call and then you do that on sales call and then close one of those two, whatever they want to do. That's kind of where my head is at right now. I think also if you're going to close deals, again, your wife, she obviously knows how to close these deals. I think you have to first calculate how many dollars per hour you would make if you just try to scale up. Here's the thing, you have to decide this. Step one is you got to figure out, are you going to make more dollars per hour if you just run more ads and your wife does more calls? And I know you got the 9 to 5, but like really think about that. Like, does it make sense? You guys scale that up and she makes way more dollars per hour? Or would you make more dollars per hour if she just closes for other people? Because you have to take,
100%.
let's say you make 5 grand. 5 grand divided by 1 hour for a discovery call, 1 hour for a sales call, 3 hours for shooting, 10 hours for editing. What's her dollar per hour? What is your dollar per hour? Versus, okay, somebody, how much would her dollar per hour be if she's just doing sales close deals for other people? You
Yeah.
got to figure that out.
Okay.
That's like the number one step, I think. So figure that out. What would your dollar per hour be if you're scaling up your own ads, you're getting more weddings for yourself, or does it make more sense for her to close for other people? And eventually, bro, you too probably you getting good enough at sales for you to start closing some weddings, and then maybe even bringing Tyler on. And now you guys are a fucking agency that's just running ads, closing deals for people. You guys get a check, not film, not shoot editing, and not do anything. And you guys might be in a place where you're like all just financially happy with that and just fucking like run with that shit for a while. That makes way more sense to me than whatever we're doing here, man.
Feel like I would, yeah, I feel like I'd be making more money for sure.
Yeah. I think it'd be a
Like,
way simpler life, dude. With all the service, like with all the clients that you guys have, the ads that you're running and keeping track of people and all this bullshit with all these different contractors versus you're just running fucking ads for weddings, bro. For yourself, for her. Your time is literally spent running ads, sales calls. That's it.
yeah.
Way simpler. I don't know. It seems really obvious.
Yeah, dude, I like the sound of that. And honestly, like, I don't know. You're right. I need to prioritize more of the dollars per hour. And like in the past, even if I've brought home between 15 and 2 grand a month, like we really don't have a lot in terms of like monthly bills. It's like even bringing home 1,500 or 2 grand a month, it's like, I could stop by the gas station every now and again and grab a Monster. I could take my wife out to eat every now and again. And the last few months, I haven't been able to do none of that, and like not even grab a Monster at the gas station, and I feel like with this, it would be easier to like thrive. Yeah, talking about dollars per hour, all the effort that we're putting in. Yeah, man, I like this.
Yeah. I know it's like way different than what you're thinking, but this was the pivot I made with Riviera, and that was it for him, dude. It's like we've been
It seemed
fighting,
like it, yeah.
yeah, been fighting tooth and nail for some retarded shit, and he just made that pivot, and now he's good. Like this is super obvious to me. Way simpler to do, way high dollar per hour. So sit down today, or tomorrow, and figure that out. Okay, like seriously, you got to figure it out and be like, okay, if I do a wedding, how much am I charging? What is my dollar per hour take home? Versus if we just run ads for these wedding filmmakers, just do some sales for them, cut our teeth for the next 6 months doing this, what would our dollars per hour be?
Yeah.
And if it makes sense and so either once you figure that out, either run more ads for your wife or run more ads to just you guys do sales calls and close deals for people. And I think just do that for like fucking 3 to 6 months. And then in 3 to 6 months, we can reevaluate and take things from there. Like, do we pivot your offer to more of a retainer offer for these people, or what the fuck do we do? I think in 6 months, you'll know.
Yeah.
Once you have enough data, you've seen what your life looks like, we've seen the constraints, the bottlenecks. We're going to figure that out in 6 months without you ever taking home less than fucking 3 grand a month. You know, that's it. Um, yeah. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, bro?
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate you, dude.
You're welcome, man. I'm glad we talked about it, man. I always tell people, I'm like, man, it's so important to talk about people's like revenue take home and stuff. Like, um, everything starts there. So I'm just glad we talked about that, man.
Well, and it's one thing too. I'm like, I have never, before this last February, I've never hit 10K from like having all of my own clients. So, at one point I actually had two remote jobs and I basically hit 10K because I was working for two companies at once doing full-time salaries. It was awesome. I took all my friends to Puerto Rico, dude, during the pandemic. It was awesome, bro. It was incredible. But like anyways, so it's like it's on one hand it's cool, for me to see like, okay, cool. Can I physically possibly bring in 10 grand, 15, 16 grand a month for running ads for other businesses? Sure. But then like the last few months, and for me, that's kind of like almost like a pride thing where it's like, okay, I hit this milestone, good for you. You did it, buddy. But also like the last few months is like, the fuck does that mean if you
Take
know,
home.
yeah, don't take any of it home, So
No point. Yeah, no, don't stop. Too many people get and dude, we talked about this a year ago where you're telling me, hey, you want to do 100 grand. I was like, it's going to require this and this and that team, and it's going to be this expensive. And I I've done high revenue, I've done high profit, and I can tell you low, medium profit is way better than high revenue.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on what we're doing if like let's say that because yeah, like maybe in the long term, 100 grand is the goal, but like, for the next 12 months, if the goal is just to get to 20, 30, 40, 50K or something like that, what then with the Midas Media stuff? Like, is that
The
more
stuff.
acceptable for that low-hanging fruit?
What do you mean?
Like you were like, with all the stuff all the crazy, I guess, all the crazy stuff that we were doing and like bringing in other people to do, six figures to 6 weeks kind of thing. You're like, this is a short term thing, not a long term thing. If you're trying to hit 100K and I'm like, what if I'm not trying to hit 100K in a year? What if I'm, just trying to get to 30, 40, 50K in the next 6 months or a year? Does that change kind of your thoughts on what's going on at Midas? Or is like this stuff right here your main takeaway anyways?
What I'm trying to get at is like, okay, I'm positioning myself in your shoes and like what the last few months have been like for you in terms of take home and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you're fucking thirsty and hungry right now, and we need to eat. And to me, I didn't know your situation was what it was. To the best of my knowledge, bro, I know you're making 15K a month. That's what I'm thinking. You're spending whatever money you're spending on ads. I see you spending the money. I'm like, okay, he's probably good financially. I'm not worried. Even in my voice note today, I'm like, hey, it's probably not a constraint for you. It's probably not money. Your constraint is time. Based off of our interaction today, it's like, no, no, no. Constraint is the money. Um, and so to me, it's like, okay, let's say, so six figures, like fuck all that bullshit. It's like just not, it's just retarded, bro. I love you, but it's fucking retarded for you right now. Okay. You have one play, which is working with these contractors. So here's what you have going for you. Again, you got ads for really cheap. You know how to do service delivery. If you brought a salesperson in, yeah, that thing could be an unlock for you in terms of Midas Media working with contractors. However, you have to bring Tyler in. We're gonna have to do a bunch of sales calls. We're gonna have to figure out a bunch of shit. So we have to bring him in. We have to have him do some sales calls. We have to figure out how to make things work. That'll probably be a month or two. Okay. And then on top of that, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a journey. I don't think that he's going to hop in right away. You guys are making money. I think it'll be like a 2 month thing before it works. Versus your wife already knows how to fucking like sell wedding packages. Like it's done. And so I think if you guys brought in, I think if you guys just like, so it's like it could take you 2 months before things really work there. Versus with the wedding stuff, I'm pretty sure if you launch ads for wedding filmmakers like tomorrow, you would have some book calls. I'm sure she could probably close the deal again, if you position as to like, hey, you guys don't have to pay anything and just pay us a commission. So you run ads literally tomorrow, you hop on a sales call on fucking Wednesday. So today's Monday. You hop on a sales call Tuesday. You close the deal Wednesday. By Friday, you guys have already closed a wedding and you guys have cash coming in. Like that's how fast that is, right? It's like in a week, you guys can probably make like 500 bucks in a week. In a week. Does that logic make sense? You launch ads for wedding filmmakers, you close a deal within a day. You close a deal with the wedding person and collect the deposit and give some of it to the videographer, whatever. You guys have $500 sitting in your bank account now, additional within a week. Versus you do this stuff with him, you're going to be pouring in a few $100s up to $1,000 before you make a single sale. It's going to take time to figure that out, I think.
Yeah.
That's where kind of my mind is going. So it's like if I were you, I would just go to this thing that seems pretty obvious to, and again, I don't like short-term things that are easy that like so don't hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, this is short-term easy. What I'm saying is I don't like short-term things that are fast and easy that don't have longevity to grow. So if
Yeah.
you do this thing with the wife and you guys close weddings for people, I see it as I see there's legs to it because it's one niche, it's scalable. You guys have a ton of wedding film. Like you can scale that shit far out. We can bring on a salesperson. There's longevity to this where you can take home 10, 20, 30,000 a month, I think. I think it's possible. So I think there's legs to it. So not only is it the thing that you can have like $500 sitting in your bank account in a week's time, but it's got legs to it. Versus this thing, it's got legs to it, but it's going to take you like a month or 2, 3 months to figure it out, I think. Bringing Tyler in. That's kind of where my head.
100%.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question or doesn't answer your question? I don't know if that answers.
Yes. Yes. No, it does. It does.
Okay. Yeah, dude. I think it's put even if I don't know what's gonna happen with this, the wedding stuff, but I feel confident that it's gonna allow you guys to at least be chill, at least be safe, at least not be stressed, ride out for like 3 months, and then from there you can reevaluate. Versus here, we're just fucking we've been chipping away at this thing for like 8 months, bro,
Yeah.
without something gratifying. Versus this, in a week's time, cash starts coming in.
100%.
Yeah, man.
Well, I've thought about doing that with contractors too. When I first started working with my business partner years and years ago, running ads for him, doing Facebook ads, it was a commission-based deal running Facebook ads. He'd give me like 350 bucks for a project that was closed, which even back then I knew I was like, that's actually pretty cheap for how much I knew that they made. It's like 25% net profit. And other contractors will come up to me all the time and be like, hey, I will pay you, 50% of the profit. It's like if they do the ad spend and they would give me that much commission. It's like, holy shit, dude. Anyways, I've thought about doing that like on the side just because again, it's one of those things where it's like I know that I can, really pretty easily just copy and paste and make them results. Um,
I think it's worth exploring that down the road if you want to. Here's why. So here's the thing. Let's say you hop on a sales call with a contractor and say, hey, look, you don't owe me a single dime, dude. You just have to run the ads. And then whatever you close, you give me 20%, right? Sure. But then what's going to happen is you generate the lead. They have to work the lead. They have to close the deal. They may or may not be good at working leads. They may or not be closing deals. And then you're going to have to do the whole thing of like getting their fucking order books and Stripe and all that shit. Like I haven't even talked about the wedding stuff yet, but you're going to have to figure out how to make that work so that you collect the money. It's just like there's going to be more to it. So again, it's not going to be a fast thing. It's going to be a thing where you launch again, you have the ads going. Let's say, for example, for the contractors, you have some sales calls, you make this offer. Again, it's going to cost you 1, 2, 3 months before you start seeing some cash come in and make sense. Versus with the wedding stuff, because you're doing the sales call, I'm sorry, your wife is doing the sales call, we know that we can guarantee the cash is going to come in. And then once you have done that relationship, let's say you have like 5, 6 videographers that you've done a deal with where it's commission based or percentage based, and you have figured out a workflow, a system for that. And you're like, okay, I know how to work with people and do a commission based offer and make it work. Maybe it makes sense to explore this now with these guys because higher ticket price. Okay, maybe you consider moving that at that point. Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. But this to me seems obvious as like, just do this for now to make some cash and keep put the fires out and do what you need to do to breathe. To me, it's pretty obvious you should do that.
okay, will do. I've actually got a few photographers I can reach out to and set something up like that with them, like actually stat. So
Okay, perfect. Hell yeah. Um, cool, man. Anything else? I know we didn't go over anything that pertained to, contractors, but um, anything else you want to go over, man?
nah, dude, fuck contractors. I freaking hate contractors, man. They're fucking assholes. I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Anyways,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's work on this. I'm gonna touch base with you. I'd like to stay in touch like daily,
yeah,
for at least a week and just kind of see how you're progressing through this and just keep me updated. Um, so okay. Anything else, bro, that you want to go over?
No, dude, that was good. That was nice. It's good.
Good. I'm glad that helped, man. Glad that helped. Glad we had this call, bro.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Yep. Um, okay. Um, Estalon, what's going on, bro? You there? Or if you're there, you're muted, bro, if you're talking.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling, bro. What's going on?
Nothing much, bro. I don't really have um any questions or anything, just because I'm more in the technical side of things. Besides frustration from go high level,
Yeah.
but the last few days have been pretty shitty. In terms of getting sick, and on top of that, I didn't have a computer to work with. So if you're sick, you feel okay as long as you can fucking work, because you can just stay in. But
Yeah.
if you're sick and you can't work, then that sucks, bro.
Yeah.
But I finally got a MacBook Air,
Okay.
so working on a little something now. And today was the first day that I got it back, so I was able to go through the list, and I'm writing down little technicalities thing that I'm gonna go back
Okay.
to try to fix. Because I'm trying not to stop at every problem, because then it's gonna just take forever. Um, so yeah, number one thing, bro, trying to push through everything, trying to get active as soon as possible, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm still a little sick. I'm sure you can hear my voice, but
A little bit.
it's probably like my second day a little sick, but
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the place that you're at right now is like it's frustrating with all the tech stuff, bro. But also once you get it set up, what I found is whenever so people have like different skills, right? So some people come in, they already have some experience with go high level and automation and stuff, versus some people have no experience. So for somebody like you who has little to no experience with that, it's a little bit frustrating the first time you go through it. But then the second time it gets way easier, the third time, and then by the fourth time, you're like, oh, I can do this shit in my sleep because you know how everything works. So right now I know it's a little bit foreign to you. But
Yeah.
once you get to that place, bro, where you've done it and you got to your second or third, remember all the automation and AI stuff we're talking about, you're gonna have a light bulb. You're gonna have all these ideas that are gonna come to you. And so I'm excited for you to get to that place where you've just kind of gone through this. Because then you'll just know how to set up these automation, you'll know how to set up all these things. So that's gonna be cool. Aside from that, bro, like um, I guess like what can we go over? Is there anything that you want to go over, anything you want to chop it up about where I can add some value or Mason or we can add some value and just kind of make this cool for you? Is there anything you think you want
Um,
to?
Honestly, man, the stuff that I have written down is more so like technical stuff that I don't know if it's gonna help anybody. But I can go over it, but I think Mason is not here right now.
Yeah, he's
So I can do it in a message once I get like the whole list down of questions. Knock everything down back to back, hopefully. But I'm enjoying these conversations, man. I'm liking how you're able to kind of just dissect issues, and especially with Aiden, because I'm in the wedding industry as well, so I really like that. So good luck with you, Aiden, and with that new stuff, and also with Raja.
yeah,
So yeah,
Roger.
yeah, I'm enjoying that. That to me is cool. So
It's kind of like like thinking through things and making like correct decisions from there to like save time, energy, and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been an interesting call today. This is not a normal call, right? Typically, it's just like work on just sales skills or like working through somebody's numbers. But today's been interesting, like kind of thinking higher level and
mhm.
focusing on just making the right. I think too many people, bro. Like this is again me and you sitting down, and I like sound crazy sometimes, but like I'm always kind of thinking through a different pair of lenses where I'm like, okay, how do I make the most dollars per hour? How do I save the most amount of time? And sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes you need somebody else to come in there and kind of like give you their 2 cents. So I'm glad you're getting value from it. I'm glad you're getting value from it because based off our conversation, also, a few months back at Lucky's, I felt, I was some of those things were going through my head too in terms of your situation when you were out in Florida, the different things that you were going through. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're getting some value.
Yeah, and I think the last thing is Righteous mentioned something, and I think I'm excited for you to try those different things with Sora, because like that stuff. Um, so hopefully, you kill it with that, with a Sora advertisement and stuff like that. And and the new, like, the whole with the update and all of that, like having a lot of different creatives, which is what it seems what the machine wants, is just a whole lot of different creatives, less on the technical side or the copy, but more so creative. So I'm like, that's the fun part. I feel like right now you get to like play around with being creative and coming up with different ways to show your future client, the things that you want to offer and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try out the Sora AI because I've seen people play around with it, but I think yesterday or maybe 2 days ago I saw somebody that's like in it that runs an agency that actually used the Sora app. And I noticed that like these videos get tons of engagement. So I'm just kind of curious to see how it works with the ad. If you have the right copy headline and some call outs going towards like their pain, just to kind of see how they will react to it. But yeah, with this new update, hopefully that's something that could be useful. That way you don't have to create a bunch of creatives. You can just kind of have it spit out a bunch of creatives for you if you just give it a prompt and say, hey, make me like 15 copies of this or something like that.
Well, that'd be crazy, man.
Do you guys need invite codes for that? I just randomly got access to it one day and I've got 6 invite codes. They're just burning a hole in my pocket. They're not doing anything.
Yes, please. Because now that Koshi confirmed that I need to be doing that, I'll get on to making the videos because videos seem to work like really, really well. I mean, like they do work well, but like what I'm just using like the photos and like shout out to you, Aiden. Thank you. That background ad has been like crushing it for me.
Good
It's
deal,
been
dude.
like I turned it back on because like literally like the quality of the leads that I've been getting are so good. It's like I'm kind of scared to go away from it. But yeah, it started to like die down and I just duplicated it and it spit out a couple leads, but like it could die down here within the next few days or so. So testing out some creatives and everything like that is going to be interesting to see how it keeps going.
What you guys should look into as well is I don't know if you guys have done much with VO3. Like Sora 2 is being very sensationalized, but VO3, honestly, like I've been messing around with Sora 2 and VO3 is honestly better. In the stuff that I've had access to on my phone, VO3 is better. And they had a promotion where it's like you pay, I forget how much we pay. I think it's like it might be between 200 or 300 bucks a month. You get a bunch of credits for a month, but they've been doing something recently where you get basically like you do vertical videos and you can make pretty much unlimited of these like vertical videos as you want that don't use up any of your credits. So Tenny has been going to town on just making videos like crazy. And then what's interesting too is those free vertical videos, again, you can make as many of those as you want. If the prompt isn't as good for whatever reason, he'll go back to the one that uses the actual credits that you pay for, and it is actually a lot better than um, like with perfecting the prompt or whatever. It's a lot better than it would have been if you just gone straight for the credited version. Anyways, so VO3 is really awesome. That's actually something that we've seen do really well lately. Is we'll use VO3 to make like a person, like a spokesperson, just AI person talking to the camera. I'll have to send you guys some of the videos because it's like this one guy, we green screen him over one of our clients' like video walkthroughs of the projects. And when you green screen him and you shrink him down, people don't talk about the AI as much. They don't call it out. Versus if it is just like pure AI, they will call it out, man, and it's not very good. But anyways, green screen this AI spokesperson, and it sounds really good. He's like, I'll send one of the videos to the chat, or he's like, are you thinking about remodeling your kitchen? I don't know. And then it basically just talks about the cost quiz, right? And
Yeah.
those have absolutely crushed it for us. You guys were talking about Andromeda and all the different creative changes. That's something that's been we've tested like over the last couple weeks like dozens of different videos and creatives and stuff, and that's one that's done really well is AI spokesperson green screened in front of a video that a client filmed of their project on their phone, talking about the cost quiz at least. I think there's one or two more that have done really well. I'll send them to you guys.
I appreciate that. Now that's good to know. And instead of having the whole AI on there, just have like a green screen of a contractor. And because like the ad that I'm running now already has like real people doing the work. So I can probably just green screen somebody on there. And then there's like this voice changer that a mom put me on to that we've been using like for the call out. So it'll call out the county and then kind of go into the spill of the cost quiz, like find out how much it costs, for this project. Um, but yeah, that was another thing. The credits, that's why I stopped using the Gemini. I think Google Gemini. They have like an AI video too, but the credits, you use one video and the credits are gone. I'm like,
Hmm.
it's not even worth it. It's like, why would I pay for something like this? I can only make one video out of it. So that's good to know that you got like that's in you said Evo.
VO3, VEO3. That's weird because I don't know how the Gemini stuff works, but like VO3 is like their dedicated like it's like using you know I forget the what's any I don't know. I think it's different than whatever the heck is in Gemini. I don't know. But it's Google's like VO3 is Google's, but it sounds like it's different from because we get a lot of credits and sometimes Tenny's rushing to like use as many as we have at the end of the month, you know. But he's also also I'm having Tenny make a course on this that I don't know. Like I'm making this for some of my buddies that are into film where they're trying to make work in like cinema and film and it's just not really and I was like, dude, just make this as a side hustle. I'm sure you'll get lots of work. And so when he's done making a video, like we'll send that to you guys and I'd be interested in hearing how you guys, if you guys apply it, see if it's valuable. We might sell that as a course, to be honest, but
Yeah, I'd love to check that out because I suck at making the prompts for the videos. I'm like, I don't even know what to tell it to do. Like, I just put my copy from my ad in there. I was like, all right, make something off of this. But I was like, yeah, I gotta be more detailed on the prompts for the videos.
100%.
Aiden, if you guys, since you're pursuing creating that content, yeah, let me know. Reach out to me once you're done with that. And that could be a different. I'm all for that. I'm all for like selling online courses. Very passive once you get it set up. I think I shared last week what Maria Windit is doing. And so she basically will spend 200,000 a month on ads to sell a low ticket course, 27 bucks. She got additional offers in there. So she breaks even and then she uses content on her Instagram in order to upsell people, email sequence. So spends 200,000, makes 200,000, breaks even, and then she makes on top of that another 400,000. That's her profit. She, creates content 2 days, 2, 3 days a month, creates one new course offer a week. That's it. That's her business. And so it's thing. So if you guys do get into the online course space, definitely reach out. And I'll share with you guys like how to build maybe a low ticket funnel or something. Because I know for sure if you guys make a good course, there's a shit ton of people that would eat up an AI course for videography stuff for sure. I know that would sell.
Totally. Sick,
So
dude.
yeah,
Shit.
man. Yeah. So all right, guys. Anything else? Eslan, anything else, bro, that you want to chop it up about? I think that's everything, guys.
Oh, nothing else, man.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna hang out for maybe another 30 minutes or so. I'll have a look at every call if you guys want to hang out and kind of see me review that. And then that'll probably be a wrap for today. Um, unless Jorge probably has some questions. So we'll see how long it takes with Jorge. If it takes a little while, then maybe we'll skip out on the review. If not, I'll try to do the review. Jorge, what's going on, bro?
What's up, bro? What's up, guys?
Chilling, bro. Would you want to go over, bro?
Um, just a review on like what we got going on. Excuse me. With the new ads, right? Or like the ones that we updated. Just checking in with those and like the numbers. We did get a couple. We got two leads, right? One of them
Okay.
didn't reply at all. The other one was like I had a call with, but it wasn't worth it. Um, It was like a very like he was asking for something crazy. Oh, I'm good for touch. Oh yeah, so I'll write you down, right? I'll let Adam know, and then from there we can talk about like different sessions and like however many you're thinking, like with what instructors. It'll be based off your schedule though, your availability. Cool, bro.
So
So
remind me what we did the last round. I know we talked about 3 rounds. What did we recently do for this? One, what did we recently do? Two, how much have you spent? Yeah, those are the two things.
we spent so far we did the new targeting, right? I mean the old targeting.
Okay.
Old targeting, and it's about like 70 bucks right now, like 60 something.
$60 was spent. You got 2 book calls from that. One you couldn't get a hold of. The other one was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu business owner, but
No, he wasn't even he was like a kung fu guy, and um he was like,
which
"Yeah, how can I how can I figure out how to charge somebody like $20,000 one like the first time?" And I was like, "Bro, like, are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just not
he's
gonna
like
be doing."
so he's like an instructor or teacher, whatever.
Yeah, he owned the school, but it was like a traditional like kung fu school, and he was like, just give me like a weird vibe. Like I'm like,
Okay.
it felt like
So I
he
think
didn't know exactly what he was talking about, but like he did, but he just felt like he was like unsure every single time.
that's still okay. Like it might not be like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, but I think we're on the right track. It might be just like a weird one-off thing, but so we have the ads that we did the old targeting, and then which ads are in there?
And these are the new ones that I made. The comic one, two of the comic ones, and then like the black and white image ad with like the 20K offer. They're all targeting 20K offer.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
one is not like 20K, one's more just like selling high ticket programs.
Okay. So now that you mentioned, I do remember that. So basically what we're doing is we've changed up the targeting to the old one, and we're changing up the ad. We're still keeping the offer the same. So I remember we were talking about the 3 different variables to test. So far, bro, it actually sounds good. Like I'm actually happy with that. It's like it could just be a one-off with that one guy. It's possible the first one is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We just couldn't get a hold of him, and he's just like hard to get a hold of. Maybe his intent was low. So if we get like, let's just say theoretically we get like, I don't know, 3 more book calls at the approximately this price point, below $50. And if it still remains broad, like we're talking to karate people that are just doing weird shit, then okay, what the next step is going to be is to refine the target one more time, maybe get rid of the karate stuff and just keep it to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but then like keep all those business owners, all those different things at the bottom to keep it broad, like a higher populate, not broad, but a bigger population, and that might be it, bro. And then from there, we're just swapping out ads. We could potentially be there where we don't need to test offers.
Okay. Yeah, the last time the last lead was from yesterday. He hasn't been answering nothing, so I'll keep contacting him. And then it was looking like one a day, right? So one
Okay.
a day for like 30 bucks. Right now nothing.
Okay. So we'll see how things keep going. Assuming it wasn't just a fluke and the next 2 days are good, just keep me posted daily, right? Let me know tomorrow. Let me know the next day. Assuming, we're still getting book calls for below 50, I'm happy with that probably. And then we'll just see what happens from there. If we're not bringing the right people, yeah, we need to refine targeting one more time. If we are starting to bring the right people in, then we're chilling and it's just a matter of just Andromeda and just creating a bunch of ads. That's it. If if we don't, well then yeah, we're gonna go back to square one and test out offers like we said.
Okay. Yeah. So if like there's no over the next couple of days, no activity.
Yeah. So basically here's how it is, right? So one of two things will happen in 2 days. One thing that's going to happen. So 3 things. One, no results. If no results, then we have to kind of figure out what we need to do from there. If no results, so if we don't get any results here in like 2 days, okay, most likely, so branch one, no results, we're probably going to go test offers again. So no results, test offers. If we get results, but it's not the best traffic, the quality of traffic, right? You have a bunch of weirdos or you can't get a hold of them. What we're probably going to do for there is refine targeting. Option three is results keep coming in and it's the right fit. If that happens, then good. All we're going to do is just keep swapping out ads. So those are the three different things that can happen.
Okay. Yeah, I see. That makes sense.
So no results, test offer again. Results, but not necessarily the thing we're looking for, just a bunch of weirdos, redo the targeting. 3, everything is good. If everything is good, then we just focus on swapping out ads and you're chilling. We're back to focus on sales.
Okay.
Yeah. What else you got, bro?
Um, that's it really. That's been like the activity. Mm, nothing, nothing new, nothing like that. This should be like, worth noting. It's just that, just really testing out those stuff. Feel like we've been in communication constantly because of the little
Yeah.
tweaks that we've been doing. Um, but yeah, now I mean, I guess just like I'm feeling better now, so I'm just starting to come out of it. I was feeling like retarded for a little bit. Um, it was just dragging. It's been like 2 weeks, bro. But
Mm.
yeah.
I've been I felt because I knew we were getting some momentum and focus on sales, and then we took a step back. But my fingers are crossed, bro. I don't want to jinx it, but hope I'm seeing good signs so far. So, but yeah. All right, bro. Anything else that you want to go over? I'm gonna do a review of a discovery call then with the remaining time if we got some.
No, I think that'd be good. I've just been like, man, what can I do in the meantime? And it's really, I've just been like, practicing like my scripts, practicing like certain, like, from those tips in the quiz sheet tip section, where it was like practicing this stuff. Because I'm still doing consultations, right? We're still selling consultations. That's still doing well. Um, so I'm like, let me just keep practicing because I'm already in my flow.
Yep. Yep. That's all you can be doing for now. So, all right, bro. Then we'll do a discovery call review. I'm gonna hang out for about 30 minutes. We'll see what we can get done here in 30 minutes. Eslan, were you here? I don't think you've been here while you've done a discovery call review, have you, bro?
No, I haven't. It'll be my first one.
Okay, cool, cool. So these are fun. Um, okay. So, so we got the discovery call script here. We got the sales call process here. Um, okay, so did you go through this process or did you not go through this process? Like, did you kind of do something a little bit different, Righteous?
Nah, I went through that process.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Hey, is this John? It is. Hey, John, this is Righteous from Painters Pro, the marketing agency exclusively for painting businesses. Is this still a good time for you? Yes, fine. Awesome.
This is exclusive for okay.
Yes, it is. Hey, John, this is Righteous from Painters Pro, the marketing agency exclusively for painting businesses. Is this still a good time for you? Yes, fine. Awesome. I won't take up too much of your time today. Just a quick 10 minutes to ask a few questions, see if we can help. John, does that sound all right to you? Yep, sounds fine. Cool. Now, since this is our first time meeting, just a little bit about myself. My name is Righteous. I'm the founder of Painters Pro, and we're a small agency that only focuses on working with painting companies. No med spas, no random niches, just painting companies. We started in 2021 and have since helped over 20 painting companies across the US triple their revenue.
So I'll tell you right from the get-go, you just sound robotic, bro. We can tell you're reading off a script. So that's my one thing. At the very beginning, I don't know, maybe some advice is like
Painters Pro, the marketing
I
agency.
mean, it worked out in this particular case. Like, is that what you're typically saying? This is Righteous of Painters Pro, exclusively working with painters?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I just feel like it sounds like a little bit salesy, not personal. So it's like, hey, is this John? Yeah, this is John. Hey, John, this is Righteous from Painters Pro. You clicked on that earlier today to book a call with us. We're a marketing agency that works with painters like you. So something like that just gives a little bit more context. Like, hey, you did this thing earlier. We work with painters, so I think just combining both of those, small little tweak. I think it just feels less salesy. It seems more normal. Just small little tip there.
Okay. Yep. I'll write that down.
Okay. It's like, hey, you made this, you did this earlier. You clicked on this ad, you booked a thing, just calling you back. This is what we do.
John?
And
Hey,
then
John, this is right.
this part, just again, it just sounds robotic, bro. That's my big thing too. Is like not robotic. It sounds like I can tell you're reading a script is kind of what I'm getting at. And so the reason that's important is just like if somebody feels like you're reading a script right away, they're not right away. Here's what's going on. If somebody feels like you're reading a script right away, they're like, this person's not being authentic. They're reading a script. I'm already tuned out and I'm just kind of hearing what they have to say. The emotions kind of go away. Like that's what people feel, I think. So this is just you work on your tonality, bro. You work on your tonality, throwing ums and buts and little LOLs. Like Cam does that a lot. I know you and Cam are different people. You have different energy, but Cam, I notice he'll talk like ha ha ha, and it's fucking weird, but it works for him.
Right.
It just makes it more personal.
Prices from Painters Pro, the marketing agency exclusively for painting businesses. Is this still a good time for you? Yeah, fine. Awesome. So I won't take up too much of your time today. Just a quick 10 minutes to ask a few questions, see if we can help. John, does that sound all right to you? Yep, sounds fine. Cool. Now, since this is our first time meeting, just a little bit about myself. My name is Righteous. I'm the founder of Painters Pro, and we're a small agency that only focuses on working with painting companies. No med spas, no random niches, just painting companies. We started in 2021 and have since helped over 20 painting companies across the US triple their revenue using Facebook and Instagram ads. That's literally all we do. Anyways, that's just a quick scoop on us. Now, I love to really.
I like that little laugh that you threw in there. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like stuff like that makes it personal, right? More focus on trying to throw more of that in there. Practice that. If you're going to practice on doing things to make it more personable, less scripty. So it's okay to say things like, hey, I'm Pound Pro. We're a small marketing agency. We only work with painting companies and contractors. So yeah, no med spas, no random niches or anything like that. In case you're talking to other agency, in case you ever had you spoken to another agency, this is all we do. We started, and again, I'm doing these ums on purpose. We started back in 2021. We've helped about 20 painting companies across the United States at this point. Average client triples their revenue by the time that they're with us. And our bread and butter really is Facebook, Instagram ads. So yeah, that's literally all that we do. Anyways, that's just a little scoop on us. Now what I'd like to do is just turn it over to you, man, learn a little bit more about you, ask you a few questions, see if we can help you. First question for you. So there's a lot of fluctuation in there in terms of thing, and then I'm throwing some ums in there. The ums are not like but rather it's like I'm thinking about the next thing to say.
Hear about your business and see if we can help you. John, my first question for you is, what made you book this call and what are you hoping to achieve?
Well, I just was dealing with another company, and I don't know. I feel like it sent me leads that they sent other people, and I see your ad, so I figured let's find out what it's about. My goal is get some more customers.
Awesome. So you're currently working with another company, and you feel like they're sharing. Not anymore. Oh, not anymore. Okay, got.
So it's good that you did that. So yeah, a little tip is just so here's a tip, okay? Do not ever assume. Just I always like ask questions, as you notice, I clarify. So are you working with that another marketing agency, or are you saying just clarify, okay? Just make sure you clarify things because it could have gone down a very bad direction if he did not stop you. Okay. The fact that he stopped you saved you because it's a very different thing to be talking to somebody who's worked with another marketing agency versus has. Somebody that is working with another marketing agency, that's like talking to a girl who's already dating somebody. You got to get that girl to break up with that guy. And the only way you're going to get her to break up is if those two have been fighting and she sees you as a much better opportunity versus somebody who has had a bad experience with a marketing agency. You can heal that person. It's just a different dynamic. You just got to like heal them for that person. So this case, you got to heal them. This person, you got to get them to break up.
Got rid of them because you assumed that they were sharing the leads with other people. And how many of you assumed that they were sharing the leads with? Not anymore. Oh, not anymore. Okay, got rid of them because you assumed that they were sharing the leads with other people. And how many leads were they giving you?
So I would have maybe you do this. I would have delved deeper into that, like because his core issue. So think about his core issue. Why did he say? He said, "Hey, look, I'm trying to get more customers." Good. Second thing he said is I work with an agency that was sharing. That's a big fucking red flag. That's his trouble thing. Like that's the thing that broke his heart. Okay, so talk to me about that. Like how do you know that they were sharing? Or like what gave you the evidence? Or talk to me a little bit more about that. What does that mean? Right? I would be curious about that. Instead of going into like, oh, because right now you're going to how many leads were you getting? The issue isn't how many leads he was getting. The issue is that he felt like the leads were being shared. So talk to him about that before you continue down this path. I would do that for you.
No, yeah, that makes sense. On that question right there, that's when I should ask, what do you mean exactly by sharing the leads? So
Oh, yeah. This goes back to the thing of like, yeah, stay on script. You're staying on script, But this goes back to your thing of you often stick to the script too much instead of listening and then replying back with appropriate response. The appropriate response here is not going into how many leads, but rather tell me more about that because that's the core problem. That's what he's coming to you for.
Yeah, I definitely made a mistake on that because I just fired off a random question. Well, not random, but it should have been diving deeper into what he was talking about. So, yeah.
So
We guaranteed 150 leads every 6 months.
Okay, 160 lead every 6 months. Got you. What are you currently
Within 6 months.
within six? Okay, I got you. Got you. What
what did he say?
are you currently doing to acquire customers now?
6 months.
Within 6. Okay, 6 months. Got you. What are you currently
Within 6 months.
within 6? Oh,
Within 6 months. Oh, so he's basically saying that that was their offer, 160 leads within 6 months. Okay.
okay, I got you. Got you. What are you currently doing to acquire customers now, and how's that going?
Big man, like right to it. I think I got a Yelp ad. I think I'm on Google. I don't even know anymore, to be honest with you.
Okay, I got you. Got you. So Craigslist, you got a post there, you did a Yelp ad, and you said a little bit of Google, but not too sure.
Yeah, the Google thing, I think I fucked it up when I did it.
Got you. Got you. What have you tried in the past? Have you done Angie's or Thumbtack, anything like that?
Yeah, I think people come back, but it's outrageous, it's expensive. You know what I mean? I like to pay for it if I want getting the job or whatever, but I would send my number to the people, tell them to call me, and they would continue to text me on the ads, which cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. I can't stand platform like Angie's and Thumbtack because, as you know, one, it does get expensive, and they also recycle leads with 20 other painting contractors in that area. And with us,
Angie's was the company I was using.
Angie's?
That's the one I would.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I referred to when I said that I quit.
Okay. I got you. So that you were working with Angie's and they were sharing leads with other people.
Yeah, they were
So
definitely.
you're doing this stuff that you're doing right now, getting content, bro. You're doing great. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like listening, and then because I can hear in his voice, he's like, "You're having a dialogue. You're having a dialogue. This is good."
I feel like that was one of my big problems was I was not listening good enough to respond back to what they were saying, and I just kind of kept continuing with the script. So I made sure I worked on that. I'm like, you gotta sit, you gotta talk through this. So
You're doing good. You're doing good. Up here, when he says Craigslist, Yelp ad, not Google ads, for me, a small little thing, I would have been like, "Yeah, man, that's a lot." Do you know how much you're spending on all these different platforms, man? Because like he's like, I don't even know like where I'm running ads. It's like, okay, well, do you know how much you're spending currently on marketing on all these different platforms? Are you spending more on one versus the other?
mm,
I think I would have like gotten a little bit of clarification here because he's again, what he's saying is like, hey, I'm running ads here, here, here. I don't even know where I'm running ads. My spidey sense are tingling, or I'm like, I want to get a little bit more clarification. What do you mean by that? You're running ads on all these platforms. Like, why are you running ads on all these platforms? And do you know how much are you spending by any chance?
I see. Yeah, man. That's why I can't.
Like, clear everything. So, I mean,
But like what's happening now, even though I said that's what I would say, the direction of the conversation is going in the right place. The reason it's going in the right place is because he started the conversation off with the reason I'm here is I want more customers, but I was getting leads and they were being shared. So you're talking about the thing. So the fact that you didn't dive deeper earlier, luckily you got back to where you needed to be, which is here. You got back to like talking more about Angie's List and all that bullshit that pissed him off. So it just happened naturally, which is good. And you're staying on it, which is good.
obviously, they were coming out.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I can't stand those companies like that. Angie's, Thumbtack, they're really similar. With us, the leads are 100% exclusive to you. We only work with one painting contractor.
So you're doing fucking great, bro. Like you took the thing that he said was his kryptonite, the thing that pissed him off, and you're like, we don't do that. So right away, his mind, I almost guarantee you, is like calming down. He's like, all right, good, I'm in the right place. Good job. Good job.
Contractor in that area. And so instead of fighting 20 bears over one salmon, you get that salmon every single time to yourself. We literally hand you the ball, and all you got to do is walk in the end zone. It's a complete game changer. Now, in a nutshell, John, with everything
I feel like that sounds a little bit salesy. It doesn't sound natural, right? You're like, hey, we hand it to you and you take it to the end zone. He's not asking about that. I think you did good just ending it where you did, which is like the 20 bears. Like I thought that was fucking great. So yeah, I would have said that, been like, so yeah, the Sam is all yours, man. That's our promise to you. That being said, man, in a nutshell, I would have kept it moving. I wouldn't have said this small little bit because it doesn't pertain. He's not asking you about like taking it home and he's not asking about like closing deals. He's asking about leads. He's not asking about like conversions. I'm having a hard time getting hold of these leads, talking to them. I'm sorry, I'm not having a hard time closing the deals or anything like that. His just issue is just I want leads exclusive to me. And so you said that, and I would have shut up after that.
you just told me, what would you say, is your biggest challenge for you right now? Or what's not working at the level that it truly could be?
And so this is again a little bit of context, bro. Is like again, you're reading off the script and not you're listening, but here's what it means to listen. So he told you Angie's list, other people are using, the leads are being shared among other people. So you go into the thing of like, so I guess like what my next question is like, what's not working as well as you think it should be working? I understand that, you were getting leads and that, they're being shared by other people. I guess like what exactly is the issue with that? Like what's not working? Is it the fact that you're not getting the leads because these leads are being shared by other people before you get a hold of them? So the volume is not enough. Like what exactly is the issue there? That's how I would have said it. Instead, I would have tied it back to what he said. That shows that that's listening. You're tying it back to what he said, being specific with it.
Or what's not working at the level that it truly could be.
Because the way you positioned it, like he's going to give you a generic general answer. I don't know what he's going to say to you. Maybe he's going to say the right thing, but you're saying a generic general question, like what's not working as well as you think it should be. I told you I'm not getting leads that are exclusive to me. So instead of saying that, it's, hey, I understand you're not getting leads exclusively. You like talk to me a little bit more about that. Like, what's the issue with that? Is you're getting leads, but somebody else is getting hold of those leads before you. Like, what exactly, like, what's not working? What's not working due to your circumstance? My circumstance is I have somebody running ad or getting leads, but they're not exclusive to me. Okay, so talk to me a little bit more about that. What's not working for you? Yeah, man, I get 10 leads. I fucking pay for the 10 leads, but every other, they're already being sold to before I can get a hold of them.
That was honestly to obviously employees if I'm not constantly busy, and I can't ask somebody to come along with me, and then I can pay them, full time.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so you're saying, not able, to get the consistent leads, causes you to, you have to lay off employees, right? And what else? How else has it impacted the business, John?
So yeah, the conversation, the way it really goes is if you say what I suggested earlier of, hey, so what's not working as well, again, I understand the leads are not yours exclusively. He might say something along the lines of, yeah, man, because I'm not getting these leads exclusively, I'm not able to get a hold of them. And so therefore we don't have jobs to close. If we don't have jobs to close, man, I don't get fucking employees. I can't pay my employees. I can't run my fucking business. I need to fucking pay my guys. That's how I think the conversation would have went if you would have said specifically, what I'm suggesting.
Yeah. Being
Then
specific.
Yeah, and then you could have tied it back. You're like, got it, man. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, we got to make sure our employees are paid, and that obviously starts with leads. But it's not leads is not enough. You got to make sure they're exclusive to yours. This way, you're not, wasting your time and energy trying to sell to one person. It's talking like 20 people. So it's not just the leads; it's the quality of the lead. So what I'm hearing from you, man, is that you weren't really dealing with an issue of getting leads. It was the quality of lead. Once that's exclusive, that's hot, ready to buy. Looking for an estimate and not really shopping around talking to 20 other people. You just need somebody exclusive to you. That's kind of what the issue is that I'm seeing. Does that sound about right, John? That's kind of what you would have said.
Okay, really, I'm busy.
Okay, got you. What might make more sense is to begin with the end in mind here. So, like, what revenue number are you aiming to hit? Let's say in like a year time.
So this is also pertains to listening, right? Because it's like he told you something and you just move again, you're doing the same thing of like you just move on. You just move on instead of like reflecting. You did a good job earlier, right? You did a good job. He's saying something to you and reflecting back. Every time somebody says something, reflect a little bit. Let them know you're listening. So, it's like
What revenue number are you making more sense is to begin with? Okay, got you. What might make more sense is to
so he just told you like, yeah, man, I just gotta stay fucking busy. And you're like, okay, gotcha. All right, well, what makes sense is da 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 da. It's so abrupt, bro. I don't know if it does that make sense to you or it doesn't make sense to you. Like
No,
what I'm
this makes sense.
so like
I-
here's how you would naturally do it, right? So I just gotta keep my fucking employees busy, man. Got it, dude. I totally understand. Well, yeah, man, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk to you about what we can do. I think it probably starts with, just getting your calendar full with, book consult with leads, man. And again, I think, kind of going the theme I've heard throughout this call, like I said, is just exclusive leads. So that being said, man, the next question I got for you, man, is what I wanted to do is I just want to kind of begin with the end in mind. We're going to go back to leads, but I want to go focus with. I want to go back to the focus on the end in mind. In other words, what I want to do is I want to talk about the revenue that you're actually trying to get to. Again, you're talking to me about making sure your employees are fed. What kind of numbers do we need to hit in order to get your employees fed? Does that all make sense? So I heard what he said. I talked to him a little bit about that, and then I transitioned. And when I said this question, I still tied it back to him.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So it doesn't feel as scripty. It doesn't feel as salesy. So you stick too much to the script, bro. You stick too much to the script as opposed to like being like adapting to it, being like water and flowing. So it's like somebody says something to you, listen to it, and then let them know that you're hearing them by reflecting on it for a second before you transition. Even when you do transition, tie it back to them, tailor it back to them.
No, that makes sense.
Because again, the way you're doing is you got a guy, I can tell the way he's talking to you. I guarantee what's going through his head is this guy's reading a fucking script. And I'm okay with that because I'm fucking moving fast and I'm just trying to get through this shit. But he's not emotional at all, bro. You're not getting him emotional at all. He does not feel like you are his friend. He does not feel like you are uh, fucking fighting for him or with him. Like you're not building any type of like camaraderie liking. He's not liking you. You're not building any type of like with him. You're just going through a very efficient process. Does that make sense? And you need people to like you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
To begin with
The thing is, it's working with him because of just who he is, his personality type. He wants to get through shit fast, and that's the only reason why. Um, that's the reason why it's working, and it's okay. In this case, you're okay. But again, what I want you to do is I want you to focus on building a relationship with people. I want you to focus on getting people to like you. If people just like, and here's the thing with Jeremy, crazy thing. I was talking to Aiden about this. I was like, Jeremy doesn't use shit that I do. Like he fucking says his own shit. And his whole thing, bro, Jeremy's whole shtick is I just want to get this motherfucker to like me. And then the rest he just says whatever. So I don't know if you ever heard him on a coaching call where he hopped in, he just said, like, my goal when I hop on a sales call with somebody is I want it to be a face-to-face. I don't want to do discovery over the phone. And I want to find one thing we fucking have in common, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's this, whether it's that. And then once I have that, I make sure we're friends, and then I just talk to him like a friend, and I close the deal. That's what works for Jeremy. So he doesn't do any of this jujitsu, bro. Think about it. He doesn't do any of the, he just fucking focuses on getting people to like him. Versus you're doing all the jujitsu and none of the get people to like you. Getting
Yeah.
people to like you goes a long way.
in mind here. So like what revenue number are you aiming to hit? You know, let's say in like a year's time, what monthly revenue number will put a smile on your face and why that particular number?
So again, in this case, we want to tailor to them because he told me, hey, I just want to get my employees fed. Like I said, I would have said, what number do we need to hit in order to make sure your employees are good? This way, again, you become more friends with them because you're listening. You're saying, hey, I know this is important to you. Again, what you said, there's nothing wrong with it, but that's how you take a step further.
No, that makes
I mean, be clear with you, I'm accustomed to 30,000 a month.
Okay, so 30,000 per month. Got you. And so what's your current revenue? I know where the finish line of 30,000 per month is, but I'm wondering, you know, what the starting line is.
Right now, I'm going like one and maybe half.
Yeah. Okay, so 20,000. Is that net?
Oh yeah, it's all net. So cash, you know.
Okay, got you. All right, John. Let's talk numbers for a second.
So I would have probably spent a little bit more time. I like what you did there because I don't think you're clear and I don't think he was clear. I think both of you guys are confused. So when you said 30K per month, I can damn near guarantee 30K per month is his revenue. 20K per month was 30K per month is what he's talking about. That was his goal he's used to. 20K per now is his revenue. It's not take home. So when you said 20K net, I think you guys are both confused on that. So I don't think you know if he's actually taking home 20K, and I don't think he knew that's what you're trying to get at.
yeah.
So
I felt confused on that part too. So I was like, 30K per month is your goal, but you're at 20. So I probably should have dove deeper on that for sure.
both of them, right? So, I mean, the question itself is revenue, but the most important thing in life, bro, is, and this is important, is like you can adapt it to your funnel or if you want, if you don't have to, you don't have to. Me and Aiden were just talking. The guy fucking makes 15K per month, right? He takes home zero the last 3 months since February, March. Like, I don't know. You said February, the last 3 months. I don't remember. So he makes six figures. He sees like nothing. So this guy could be making 30K and seeing nothing. You don't know that. So you gotta like for me, I don't just ask about revenue. I'm always figuring like what somebody's take home. So so if you want to write that down, whatever, it's like you can add that on to this. I think it's important because like somebody's revenue doesn't tell you shit. I don't give a fuck if someone makes 100K revenue. I care about what they take home. So, begin with that in mind. What kind of revenue are we talking about that you need to hit in order to feed your guys? 30K. Got it. So 30K is what we need to hit in order to feed your guys. So I would assume after 30K, that's the cover of cost of goods, cost of service, cost of employees, and then you're able to eat after that, right? He says, yeah, cool. So I guess just really quick before I move on, like what are at 30K, just so I understand why you want to hit that number. At 30K, what are you taking home? Oh, I'm taking home about 5K. Now you have something tangible. Okay, cool. So where you at right now? I'm at 15K, man. All right, so 15K is about half. Got it. So what's your take home then? Are you taking anything home? I mean, if you're taking home 5K at 30, I would assume you're maybe taking home 2K or something like that. Is that about right? Or what are you taking home? Genuinely curious about that, right? And then I would move on. So revenue versus profit, very different, two different, completely different questions. And again, especially with painters, bro, like they have a lot of expenses for the painting stuff. They have a lot of expenses for like the people that they employ. So you got to make sure you figure that out. Because again, why is that important, bro? Think about it. If somebody's taking home 5K, let's say he's making 30K, he's taking home 5K. Well, what does his lifestyle cost? Does his lifestyle cost 5K? So it's like
Right.
this motherfucker's making 30K per month, working to the bones. He's got no fucking profit. So now can I sprinkle some stuff in there on my sales call? We're gonna say, hey man, look, I know your goal is 30K per month. Could I get you at 5K? Dude, what I'd love to do, man, is I'd like to take you from 30K to at least 35K, if not 40K. And the reason for that, man, is I know with 5K you're just barely getting by. If we got you to 35K, if we aim for 35K, you'd have about a 5,000 cushion. With that, man, again, I know you want to take a vacation or something. We could talk about that. So I think 30K is a good number. 35K is maybe what we want to aim for. You say that to him, now he's gonna start salivating. He's gonna think about freedom, right? And the only way you know that is if you know the profit, not the revenue, but the profit. And again, I even ask on my calls, what is somebody's overhead? What are they spending on grocery bills? I ask all those kinds of questions, right? So this stuff is important.
Real simple math here. To get you from where you are, let's say 20,000, to where you want to be, let's say 30,000, you're going to need to invest around 1,500 per month in ad spend. And I know that sounds like a lot, but here's why I say that with confidence. Across over 20 painting contractors that we work with, the average return looks like this. So for every $200 they spend, they're bringing in 3 to 6 leads, and out of those, they're booking 1 to 4 jobs. And depending on how strong the follow-up and the sales process is, and if you run the math, clients spending around $1,000 typically generate about $12,000 in revenue. And that's just an average cost per acquisition of $200 and a 10x return on ad spend. So when I say I can help you hit your revenue goals within the next 2 to 3 months, I mean it. A lot of our clients, they see break even or even profit within the first 30 days, and it just builds from there. Now, one thing to understand, this isn't a hit and run type of deal. It is a system. So that's why we start with a 3-month ramp. Not because it takes forever to see results, but because real growth compounds. That's why so many of our clients stick around for 1 to 2 years, because once it starts working, they don't want to stop the momentum. So the real question, John, assuming we can help you bridge that gap, from where you are to, let's say 20,000 to where you need to be 30,000, can you invest $50 per day to grow your business? Yeah, cool.
I can almost guarantee you he heard nothing of that. He just heard 30 to 50. Can you do it? He said, yeah, I can almost guarantee you. Because I wasn't even listening, bro. It was too much for me. I know what you're doing, bro. I know what you're doing. I get it. I think for you, it's just like, here's the thing, is like you might think you're being efficient, right? And I agree, it's efficiency. But here's the thing is if you say everything you just said in 2 minutes, you get it out and he just says, yeah, versus let's say you take 5 minutes to have a dialogue with him, and then he says, yeah, which one's more powerful? The 5 minutes. Okay. So what I mean by that is you say 2 minutes, you say all this shit, you're like, oh, I've clearly explained cost per acquisition, I've explained all this shit. Somebody said, yeah, to me, I'm good. Versus he didn't hear anything you said. He just said, yeah. He just heard 30 to 50 and he said, yeah. Versus here, you actually have a dialogue with them. So in my experience, John, I feel pretty confident we can help you get there. You said you want to get from 20 to 10, 30 to 20 to 30. To me, that's probably about 5 jobs, cost per acquisitions around whatever. Um, would you be good if we spent, let's, I don't know, 30 to $50 per day? Are you good with something like that? I could tell you it's probably gonna give you about X jobs. I think I don't know that I just did the best job there because I didn't even have a dialogue. I think it's just I'm not reading off of a script and I'm just kind of having like an actual dialogue. Um, I think you just need to have a dialogue for this stuff, is what I'm saying. Is I think it's important. I think with this guy you're okay. I think with this guy you're okay. I think he heard the important part, 30 to 50 per day, and he said yeah to that. And I think you're okay. But typically I think you want to have some kind of a dialogue.
Okay.
Is that making sense or no?
No, that makes sense. Because even on that part, when I'm running through it, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker ain't listening. Like sometimes you can hear them like, oh, okay, like as you're going through it, but it's still not as efficient as like you said, having a dialogue where you can kind of just go back and forth and make sure that they're listening to you
Yeah.
instead of just kind of spitting that out in like 30 seconds.
3 days, and it just builds from there. Now, the process is
I mean, I don't have a right answer for you. All I know, here's what I know. I know that this is not efficient. So you can do different things. You can try having a dialogue, or you can say it in a way where you have some, does that make sense before I continue? So, I don't know. Let me just try something here.
you're going to need to invest around 1,500 per month in ad spend and thousand. You can say 20,000, to where you want to get you. All right, John, let's talk numbers for a second. Real simple math here. To get you from
So, all right. So he said 30K and then he said 20K. It's like, cool. All right, John. So the next time I do, man, is I want to get into numbers with you. Just kind of walk you through what it would take to get from 20 to 30K. You ready for that? Or I'm going to just spit off some numbers. You cool? Says, yeah, cool. All right, man. Well, it's simple math. You're currently at 20K. You're trying to get to 30K. I can tell you, man, it's probably going to cost you about $1,500 per month in ads. I'm going to go and break that down for you. Okay. Wait for him to say, yeah. Cool. So basically, as I'm telling you this, John, we've got 20 contractors that we're currently working with, and so these are pretty much averages that we see across the board. Basically, for every $200 that you spend, you're gonna get. I think this is just way too much. 3 to 6 leads. They're gonna book 1 to 4. Depending on how the flow of process, 1,000, yeah, 12,000. Yeah, this is just way too fucking much, bro. 30 days. Yeah, this is just way too much, bro. I didn't even as you were talking, I wasn't listening. Now I'm reading. I'm actually trying to pay attention. This is way too much, bro. I was gonna go over somebody's head. So, about $1,500 per month. I wouldn't even, yeah. So,
what the average return looks like.
so about $1,500 per month in ad spend. That being said, John, I'm gonna go and actually break that down for you. At $1,500 per month on ad spend, you don't need to memorize these numbers. These numbers will just kind of go over your head. But in my experience, man, $1,500 per month in ad spend equals, and then what is the number of leads from that? I don't know. You do the math. So 1,500 divided by 5 is, I don't know what the fuck the number is. Let's just say theoretically, let's say 70. So $1,500 per month in ad spend, that's going to be about 70 leads, John. Out of those 70 leads, are you with me so far, John? Yeah, yeah. So out of those 70 leads, based off of, what I've seen across the board, you could be you could be a killer closer, where you be average. I don't really know, but on average, man, like base case, you're gonna close 7 of those. So hopefully that makes sense, John. $1,500 in ad spend equals 70 leads. 70 leads equals 5 closes. Do those numbers make sense, John? John says, yeah, cool. So basically, I mean, my main question to you, though, John, is like, if you want to get from the 20K to 30K number, based off my math, you're going to need to spend about 30 to $50 per day on ads. Is that something you feel comfortable doing in your business now? Yeah, cool. All right, man. Well, my last question then is this. Do you see that interaction?
Yeah.
That's how I would have done it. I think
Okay.
and so if you need to listen back to this, again, maybe that works for you, it doesn't work for you. I don't know. That's what I would do because it's super important that again they understand. You can't just ask somebody 30 to 50, right? They need to understand the value of it. So I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to basically build the value, right? Based off the course material, you're trying to show them, hey, if you need to spend $1,500, but before you spend $1,500, here's how many leads you're gonna get. Out of those leads, this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen. So that's the fucking value of $1,500. Yeah, I see the value, Righteous. Cool, man. So you willing to spend 30 to 50? Yeah, of course I am. That's the logic you're probably trying to use. You're probably trying to, right? You're trying to say all those words so that by the time you get to 30 to 50, they're like, yeah, duh, no brainer. But here's the thing, you're not building the value because they're not fucking hearing anything you're saying, bro. They're not hearing anything you're fucking saying. So everything you're doing, all this work that you're trying to do is just going to waste because they're not actually hearing you. The only way to make them hear you is to do an actual dialogue, like I just kind of gave you an explanation or did that example with you with.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, yeah. No, I get it because this is really important for them to know, and that's like probably why most people aren't showing up to the calls. That and me still sounding like I'm reading a script. So now this is definitely helpful to moving forward to the next discovery call for sure.
I gave this to Aiden as well. Aiden was doing the same thing where he was just throwing so much shit out there. I was like, bro, you gotta simplify it. You gotta simplify it. You gotta, hey, I know you gotta get to 30 to 50 per day, but before that, this has got to be a just simpler, easier dialogue, for them to take in. And again, also I did a little bit of a transition, right? So that's other things. Like you kind of did 20K and then he wasn't even ready, bro. You just fucked him with no lube. You're like, you just like you said 20K, you're having a dialogue. And then you just go like he's not ready for this big ass fucking paragraph, bro. You just said some crazy shit. He wasn't ready for it. He was just having a regular conversation with you, bro. He's not ready for that shit. He's just talking, chill, chill, chill. And then next you gave him like this fucking paragraph. He's not ready.
Here, to get you from where.
So again, you just kind of be mindful of that. Like have a little bit of a transition, get people ready before you know. Again, I wouldn't have like said that big ass paragraph. That's one of the biggest big no-nos, bro. Is like every time I've seen that in sales, whenever people say big ass paragraphs and the person's saying they're just listening, that almost is like two things. Whenever you go over price, before this end of the sales call, no, almost never works. 2, whenever you read off big ass paragraphs like this, it almost never works. Those are almost always confirmed. You got to have a dialogue.
Hit your revenue goals within the next 2 to 3 months. I mean it. A lot of our clients, they see break even or even profit within the first 30 days. And it just builds from there. Now, one thing around for 1 to 2 years is once it starts working, they don't want to stop the momentum. So the real question, John, assuming we can help you bridge that gap, from where you are to, let's say 20,000 to where you need to be 30,000, can you invest $50 per day to grow your business? Cool. My last question, and if you want to answer this, great. If not, no worries. I just come to find that some people want me to know this. If you think it's important, great. If not, we'll get to the next phase of the conversation. My question is, we talk a bit about numbers and very logical stuff, but what's the monetary reason that you're doing this? I guess I'm asking, is there something that goes beyond this that would be nice for me to know? For example, I don't want to get too personal here, but why are you working so
I like that. The laughing that you're throwing in. Like, that's good, bro. I don't want to get too personal. Haha. Like, that's good. Do more of that.
hard? Are you after a Ferrari, or is it to support family, or is it just for the sake of growing a business? Is there a reason that we're? Yep.
Just family and growing business.
Okay. Family and growing a business. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Oh, cool. That's awesome. I appreciate you for sharing that with me. Well, John, based off, everything that you told me, I got my notes in front of me, and I truly believe we can help you. And the next step will just be to schedule a quick demo call where I can visually show you exactly how our system works, so that you can determine if you believe our system can help you reach your business goals. And I know you did just book this call, but there was a video that I was instructing you to watch. Did you get a chance to see a little bit of it, or anything like that?
The video I watched.
I like what you did there. The way you're doing it, even though you're reading off a script, it sounds to me like a transition. You're just like, hey, I appreciate you doing this thing. The next step is this. Just really quick before I do, did you get a chance to actually watch this mechanism? I think that was great. I like what you said there. It doesn't feel too scripty. There's not too many words there. That's okay, I think.
Yeah, I had to
Right,
make
After, so right after you booked the call, there was a video that popped up. It's 11 minutes long. So I know you probably didn't get to finish the whole thing, but did you get a chance to start any of it?
I wouldn't have said that, right? Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Because then I don't know, like, it's just like, what if you said that, like, oh, you probably didn't watch it, and he's like, no, I watched all the way through. Then you kind of, when you say stuff like that, it's like you kind of lose a little bit of power. It's like, yeah, I know my shit's annoying. Like, you shouldn't, like, no, dude, my shit's fucking the bee's knees. Like, I hope you watch it, motherfucker. If you didn't watch it, you fucking lost out. All right, that's the energy.
I don't think so.
Okay, no worries. What I'll do, I'll send that video over to you. That way you can check it out. It'll help save us so much time, on our meeting. But really quick, here's just a high level overview of how our strategy works.
So you didn't say like what's in the video. So if I were you, I would have said, cool, yeah, I'll send that video over to you. The reason I'm asking you about the video is because that basically explains, it provides a high level overview of how our strategy works, right? So again, I know you're coming from Thumbstack and Andy's List. We do things completely different with Facebook, Instagram ads. So it's just important that you watch that video. This way, when we go into our meeting, you're already going to be caught up to speed in terms of how our stuff works. Does that make sense, John? John says, yeah, cool. So John, I guess like before I let you go, I do want to kind of give you a 30,000 feet overview. Again, I'll let you can watch the video, but just really quick before I let you go, I want to really quickly explain how it works. And then, if you're interested, great, man, we'll go and proceed. But basically, how this stuff works.
It all starts with Facebook and Instagram ads, just like the one that got you here. That's proof in the pudding. You and I wouldn't be talking if it didn't work. And after testing literally hundreds of ads,
I like that. So
we found one.
The way you're doing it, so read scripts, like the first script that you read, that he had nothing that he could have said. The way you phrase the script, you said you have question marks in there, which prompts him to respond. So it's like a dialogue. Even though you're reading through a script, you're reading it, you have prompts in there, and you're waiting long enough for him to respond. That's right. That's perfect. It's like a dialogue. So this is what I meant. Is like the way you're reading this off right now, you could have read this off that way where it has questions. Then it would keep him engaged. So again, if a dialogue does not work for you, which I think you should do, but if this is more your style, you would have this, but you would have question marks and prompts in there to ensure that they're listening throughout. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's no like question marks. There's no nothing. There's no, hey, there's no, so that's just a numbers thing. Where I don't know what the fuck you would even say, but like the way you're doing it here, there's prompts in there and it's making sense. He's responding. So he's staying engaged. It's good.
Save us so much time, on our meeting. They got you here. That's business. And this keeps the lead hot and ready. So that way, all you have to do is call them, inform, and this allows us to call further too. And the ad is a high. And after testing literally hundreds of ads, we found one that's consistently more profitable for our clients by law. They got you here. That's proof in the pudding. You and I wouldn't be talking if it didn't work. And after testing literally hundreds of ads, we found one that's consistently more profitable for our clients by a large margin too. And the ad is a high performance video that stops the scroller and grabs their attention. And they click learn.
I guess you didn't really prompt him. It's not really a question. I guess it's just the way you wrote it out that prompts him to like respond. And he seems like a sharp guy where he's actually paying attention. So I don't know. I kind of take that back, but it's working right now. It wasn't working earlier. Earlier, you just verbal diarrhea. Here, he's actually like responding back. I don't know. It's good. All I know is it's good. It's good to hear something from him.
More, and that takes them to an opt-in form. And this allows us to qualify the lead and learn a little bit about their painting project. And then after they opt into our funnel, they go into our CRM and they're nurtured by our AR tool and our automated text sequence that we custom tailor towards your business. And this keeps the lead hot and ready. So that way, all you have to do is call them and schedule an estimate from there and then close the job. And we don't stop there, John. You know, the real magic is on the back end where we supply free training until you make ROI guaranteed. And, you know, since these leads aren't shared with other businesses like Angie's or Thumbtack, they're
Yeah. So what you're saying here, it looks like you already scripted out, but like like I thought for a second you were tweaking it based off who you're talking to. So this is like perfect. It just happens to be perfect because he's coming from Angie's list. And Thumbtack.
Most of them do. Like the Angie's List stuff on the script, like you can most of them that you talk to are probably gonna they dealt with Angie's List, they know with them. The dude that I didn't close, the very last deal, he was with Home Advisors. And before, so he was with Angie's before no, I guess it was Home Advisors and then Angie's bought him out. So some of them are they're all familiar with Angie's List. So I like trying to shit on Angie's or Thumbtack any chance I get.
Good, good. So in this case, I like it because it ties back to him. You know me, I'm a huge fan of that. I don't like generic general things. I like to tie back whatever I say to whatever they said to me earlier, so that shows that I'm listening.
But
And if
I see why that is important. Like more and more, like I'm going back and reviewing my calls, and I'm like, this is why he didn't show up to a sales call, you know. So I can clearly see where I was going wrong on discovery calls, and I can see myself getting better in sales on this call. So I appreciate it.
No, you are. Like I'm every call that you're doing, I see more and more of you listening. And my definition of listening, as you know, hopefully it's a weird definition, but it's like I'm listening to what they're saying, and my definition of listening is also talking, but talking in a way that they know that I heard what they said, right? So it's just like that's my big thing too. Just my big thing too is like hear what they're saying and then force yourself to try to say something that has to do with what they said, and then force yourself to have a little bit of a transition. Those are the two things I'm seeing with you. So whatever they say, the next thing you say, make sure it ties back to what they just said. Force yourself to do that. Two, before you move on to like another section or whatever, bro, just make sure you have a small little transition. Oftentimes you're not doing transitions. And so by transition, what I simply mean by that is like, all right, cool. I got the question. I got the answers to this question. The next thing, John, I'm going to do is I'm going to go and move on to this other thing. Before I do, you have any question before, what we just spoke about, or can I move on? Right. So that's a small little transition. It's just like before you just unload a bunch of verbal diarrhea, just transition. And the third thing, and this is the big thing with you still, is just like you sound like you're reading a script. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you about that one. I don't know what to tell you.
I I don't even know what to tell myself. It's like I try, but it's like no matter what I say, it's just like I don't
You,
know.
I,
Script.
I mean, I'm talking to somebody else. I'm helping him through, our program as well. He had a similar issue as you, and I told him I was like, because he would every time I say something, he's like, yo, say that again, say that again. I'm like, motherfucker, it's not about what I say. It's about understanding the premise of it and then saying in your own words. And with you, you just instead of like thinking on your feet and understanding the premise, you just recite shit. That's your thing. The thing is like, I know you get it. I know you understand the the purpose. If you understand the purpose, just, say it in a way that just yeah, you're reciting a script. It's like you're worried about missing words. You're worried about saying something wrong. Maybe that's why you do it. But the problem is the fact that you do it, you sound like you're reading a script, which you are, you're reading a script.
A lot of times it do be me thinking I'm gonna say something wrong. So, but
Instead of you taking a bet on yourself and being like, I got this, you just say, hey, I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna read the script. So you're making a choice. There's two choices. Is I'm gonna bet on myself. I understand the premise of this, and I'm gonna use my own vocabulary and words to say some shit. Or two, I don't trust myself, so I'm just gonna read this fucking script. But you fuck up either one. If you read the script, you're never gonna build that emotional connection, all that stuff. So you gotta just understand the material good enough. You gotta understand what the fuck you're talking about so that you don't sound like you're reading a script. So
exclusive to you and you only. We help you close every single one of them. And now, hopefully, that gives you a clear picture of how we can take your business to the next level. And I know that's a lot to take in. So instead of like just talking about it, I love to actually show you everything: the ad created, the automation, how the leads flow in, how we follow up with the leads, and exactly what will feel like having this as your marketing team, driving real growth for your business. Yep. Cool. If you've got time on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I'd be happy to show you our entire system and the support you'll receive. Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah,
Tuesday 1 p.m. Perfect. Some general info about the call. This call will be a virtual face-to-face meeting over Zoom, so you will need to have access to Zoom and a computer. Will that work for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. And just a heads up, our call will run about an hour.
I'll tell you, I like this guy. I like him a lot. I really do. You haven't had the sales call with him yet?
No, that's tomorrow.
You better
Yeah.
close. You better close this one. He's a buyer, bro. I can tell he's
Oh,
a.
wait. Well, so at the end of the call, he was literally like, yeah, I had to talk to another marketer and the guy was charging me. He was like, it's 2,000 for 3 months, and then no, I don't know, it was like 2 or 5 grand was his price, but he was like, the 2 grand is only Facebook and the 5 grand is like Facebook and in Instagram. And I didn't think of this until like after the call, but I was like, I should have shit on that. Like, like I don't know what he's doing, but something seems off because it's like Facebook and Instagram are the same company. So I
Hmm.
don't know why you would charge 2K for Facebook and but I don't know what he was doing. But yeah, this dude, I like. I only brought that up because I like this guy too. He reminds me of kind of like the guy that
Wife.
I didn't close that had to talk to his wife.
Yep, he's similar. He's similar. He's a buyer. This guy's a buyer. So I'll keep listening. I'm curious. Maybe it's 2 grand for Facebook and then 3 grand for Instagram, or maybe it was like 2 grand for Facebook, Instagram, and 3 grand for Google, and maybe he misunderstood. Because
Possibly.
usually that's not what it is. Because Facebook, Instagram is literally just like add the placement. That's usually not what it is.
That's why I'm like, maybe he caught a marketer that was just like, I'm gonna get over on people that don't know nothing or something, but
So
that ain't gonna work out too long, right?
I don't think so. I think it was probably like 2 grand for Facebook and then like 5 grand total for like Facebook and Google. That's what my guess is.
That makes more sense.
And I would be curious like why he didn't move forward with them. Is it a price thing or do you not like the guy? I don't know. But I'll keep listening. We'll take it from there.
Where again, I'll show you everything, the ads, the follow-up system, how it all works, and exactly how we help you grow your business. Now, I've spoken with thousands of painting contractors at this point, and I'm always happy to pour my time and energy into people who are serious and ready to grow. All I ask in return is that you respect the time I'm setting aside for you. So if something comes up, that's totally fine. Life happens. Just give me a heads up, and we'll reschedule, no problem. But if you no-show without notice, we won't be able to reschedule or offer another call without fairness to other serious painting contractors. We only do one strategy session per contractor. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Cool. Now, is there anyone else I need to send an invite to? In other words, like, are you the only one that makes the business decisions, or you run things by spouse or partner?
My wife works with me, but she'll be there.
Okay, cool. Got you, John. But yeah, that's it. Tuesday at 1 p.m. I'll walk you through
You did great there. Just confirming like, hey, the wife will be there. Good.
our entire system that works year round. Oh, yep. One more thing before I let you go. This might sound a little odd, but you do remind me of one of our clients. His name is
So this part, bro, I like I like how you started it. Oh, by the way, I like that. But the rest of it sounds so fucking scripted, bro.
Yeah, I'm
You don't remind me of no one.
right.
He runs a painting business out in Charlotte, and when we first connected, he almost was in the exact same spot you're in, same challenges, same frustrations, even same goals, I'd say. And when we were talking today, I kept thinking, like, man, you sound just like Jesse. Anyway, a couple months into working with us, Jesse made a video sharing how things turned around for him, and the results that he's seen has been pretty amazing. And I honestly think it will resonate with you. Would it be cool if I texted that number over to you? Oh, that I'm calling you on? Cool. I love it. You check that out.
I mean, again, if you're gonna do this definitely cannot be scripted, bro, because you have to tweak it based off of who you're talking to. So it's like, hey, so I had this guy Jesse, and we got into his why, and his core thing was family. It sounds fucking cheesy, but like his core thing was family. A better thing would be like, hey, so when I was talking to John, same thing, man. He was right around 30,000, and his overhead was literally just like yours. And his biggest thing when he came to me was actually just paying his staff. Like he wasn't worried about himself. He wasn't worried about his take home. He just wanted to make sure that he could get his staff taken care of because he had been with them for so long and they had been so good to him. And he's worried that if he lost them, he wasn't going to find another contractor as good as them. And so when he and I started working together, that's where he was at. And within about 2 months, blah, blah happened. So I don't know. I just thought it might be interesting for you to hear from somebody who is very similar to you. What I'd love to do, John, if you're okay with it, is send you a video that he made for us. Just kind of hearing his experience. I think it might be good for you going to our next call. See how I'm tweaking it based off of who I'm having a conversation. Again, same thing with you over and over again. Tweak it based off of who you're having a conversation. Tweak it. Don't be general. You're general. This is too general. Again, it's working out for you, bro. This call is working out for you because of who you're having a conversation with. But I promise you, if you had a conversation with somebody else, it would not go this smooth. It's just
No, I hear what you're saying because I feel like I've already had calls, especially like with people that are like I know that they're qualified. Like these leads that are coming in, like they're picking up. Like the black background, I haven't had like one like where it just rings and goes to voicemail or something. Like all these people are picking up, so I know they're serious, and it's just a matter of like my skills. and I could tell that like people are just being nice because like some of them probably know like this dude's on a fucking script. And that's why, I get those objections. It doesn't happen all the time, but like sometimes I know it's me. It's not like, who I'm talking to or anything like that. It's just literally I have to get better. So
It's not you. I don't know what to tell you in terms of getting better. It's like you're good. You're just reading the script and you're not, that's it. Like I know, here's what I know about it. I know that you know it's important to make it tied to them. I know you know that because you've said to me over and over, hey, Krishy, I'm getting better at that. I'm tying back to them. So I know you get it. I know the transitions part might not be as obvious until I brought that up today,
yeah,
but I know that the custom tailoring is not a unique thing. I know you know about that. The transitions might be a new thing for you today. And I've told you over and over again in terms of like sounding like a little bit like a robot in the script. I know I've told you that a bajillion times. We've talked about it. It's not about getting better. Like it's just you. It's here's what it is, bro. It's get rid of the fucking tricycle wheels. That's it. Like, are
yeah,
you gonna get rid of the wheels or not?
no,
If you don't get rid of the wheels, yeah, you're not gonna fucking fall, bro. You'll never fall. As long as you have these tricycle wheels, which is the script, and you're reading off it, yeah, you're not gonna fall. But guess what? You're also never gonna go 90 miles an hour like a bike.
yeah, no, you're right.
You're not gonna fall, but you're never gonna go as fast as you need to go. Right?
Yeah,
So it's not about getting better. It's just ripping off the fucking wheels and understanding it and understanding at a high enough level that you can have conversation, being, building that confidence. Um, the only thing I can say about this in terms of getting better is saying it in a way where it doesn't feel scripty. And that is going to take practice, right? So that would be like you getting better. That's you like, I don't know how you do that though. I mean, the way I do it is I don't have like word by word. I have maybe bullet points and then I just kind of stick close to it, but I don't say the exact same thing. Um, there's literally only one script I've ever memorized, and that's like the price. Hey, so the price of our program is da 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 or da da da. That's literally my only line I've ever memorized. Other than that, I've never memorized any line.
okay,
There are very few things you need to memorize. That's it. And Hormozy says this too, by the way. Hormozy, like literally, I learned this from Hormozy. He said that the only time you ever want people to memorize stuff is objection handling scripts. So
mm,
whenever somebody gives you an objection, it's like, understood, John. Price out of the way. How do you feel good about like that stuff? You cannot fuck that up. You cannot fuck up objection scripts, right? But everything else you don't really fucking memorize. I don't. Hormozy talks about that. You don't memorize shit, bro. You just memorize the fucking objection script. For me, it's the objection scripts and it is the price drop. Aside from that, nothing else I memorize. Nothing else. And again, that comes from the horse's mouth, bro. That comes from Hormozy. So if Hormozy says, it's true.
everything you say is true too. I mean, like it's this is helpful for sure. I knew that that's why I wanted to review a discovery call because I was like, I got to get this down packed, like so I
You're
can move forward.
good, bro. Like you're 90% of the way there. Like you're good. Like you are good. You're just reading a script. That's it. You're reading a script. You're not tying it like you're not tying it enough to them, but like I know you know how to do that. I know you can do that. I know if you just try, you'll do that. If you just keep practicing, you'll do that. There's no problem, bro. You're not handicapped. You're just reading a fucking script. You just don't sound personal because you're reading a script. That's all it is. You're good. You're there. You're like 90% of the way there. There's not much improvement I need to do with you.
I just got to go all in and take the
Just
training wheels off.
Yeah, you just gotta take the fucking wheels off and just be like, hey man, I'm not gonna again, it's not like have bullet points instead of like having full on words.
Yeah, I guess having like going through this multiple times. I don't know. I think Alex or Mosley said something like, you just got to be reminded more than you have to be taught or something like that. I could be wrong, but
Sure.
dang, I just lost my train of thought. But no, no, this definitely helps out for sure.
I was just working with somebody for the 6 figure 6 week sales funnel, somebody else, and I had him go through the sales call and I was like, okay, I want you to watch the full sales train and then I want you to create 11 bullet points step by step. What do you do? And that's it. You're not allowed to look at any script, not allowed to do anything. And you have to use that to conduct your entire sales call. And that helped him. So it's like having some bullet points for each thing so that you just know what you need to mention. Like just know what you need to mention and then use words to do it instead of like reading word by word. Again, you're doing something that Cam did for a little while and it drove Cam nuts and it did not help Cam.
He even said that once he moved away from all this stuff, that's when he started to skyrocket. So
Yeah, so
no,
you don't have like a huge efficiency, bro. Like you're good. You're just reading a script. That's your biggest, that's your kryptonite. Your kryptonite is you read scripts. That's it.
no, that's good. That helps. Cause I guess for a long time I always thought I was like saying the wrong shit, but it's like, no, you're saying the right shit. This is how you say it. So remove the script as much as I possibly can. So
Like you're not, you got everything. Like you're doing a fantastic job. You're hitting all the bullet points. You're doing everything. You're not doing great. Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get some automated reminders leading up to the appointment, including the Zoom link. But that being said, that is all I got for you for now, John. Give me a few seconds here, and I'll go ahead and get us locked in for Tuesday at 1 p.m.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you for taking time to hop on the call.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like this gotta happen somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're honestly another guy I've been not dealing with, but I'm speaking with. He had the same idea. It was 4,000 a month, but it was 2,000. It was 2,000 a month or 4,000 a month. 4,000 a month with Facebook. I don't know about Instagram. So I'm figuring you're Facebook and Instagram and $500 cheaper. You know, I can't hurt to at least try.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
They said $500 cheaper. Did you went over price somewhere?
no, I don't know why he said that, honestly. He said, "Yeah, I'm guessing you're like $500 cheaper or something like that."
Said you're $500 cheaper because he said $2,000. Okay, here's why. He said $2,000 a month or $5,000. Guess what you said? $1,500 for ad spend. So he's thinking about that.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
But that comes to the point where, like you were talking about, like you can't do that you got to have that dialogue because he probably didn't know what the hell you said.
You just heard $30 per day. 1,500. All right. That's all he heard. It's the script, bro.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. No more script.
That was the nail in the coffin for you, bro.
Yeah, that's the nail in the coffin. Oh, shoot.
So in his mind, he thinks going into this is 1,500. So he's the good and bad news is good news is as long as good news is this is he's thinking 50. So here's the good news. Actually, this is good news. Okay. You better fucking close this. All right. Here's why is he's already agreed to basically pay $1,500 a month. He thinks $1,500 a month is a great deal for Facebook and Instagram ads. He's ready to pay it. That's what this tells you. Because he's thinking 5 grand for Facebook and Instagram ads is some bullshit. $1,500 per month is I'm sorry, it's whatever he fucking thought. $2,000 gets whatever, and then you're offering, yeah. He thinks $5,000 or for Facebook, Instagram ads. $2,000 is just for Facebook ads, and you're offering both Facebook and Instagram ads for less than $2,000 for 1,500. So he's already ready to buy.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, now that you know this, you better one, close the deal, and then two, you got to make joke and light of the situation and really milk it. So what does that mean? I want to actually, I don't want to lose my train of thought. I want to get rid of this. So I don't know. I got to sleep on this. If I was you, I would be sleeping on it. But it's like there's a time in the sales call where you can mention that. It's like cool. So John, in terms of so like again, you're talking about some stuff, and then before you get into like the smoke, it's like cool. So you ready for the smoke? Cool. So yeah, in terms of the price point, I mean, we've already talked about it a little bit. It's substantially cheaper than the last market you're talking about. I don't know how somebody can offer $5,000 a month for Facebook, Instagram ads. I think that's definitely a ripoff. And yeah, we're offering what we're offering here at a fraction of the price. And so I'm glad you didn't, jump the gun early with that guy. That being said, here's kind of what we're doing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just take that. I don't even know if that's the right thing. I definitely didn't give you the best thing to say there. All I know is this. All I know is I'm saying something within my sales call that ties back to what he just said of $1,500 for all this shit. So it's like before we even get to the price, he already expects me to say $1,500 per month. And he's already agreed to it. He's already down with it. I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense to you. And it's a little bit late right now. My mind's a little foggy. My point is this: it's like, hey, this motherfucker is down to pay $1,500 a month. As long as I don't shit the bed, he's going to pay that. So I'm going to somehow subconsciously put that within my sales call so that by the time I get to the price, there's no confusion. He's like, yep, this is exactly what I thought. I'm happy with this guy's presentation. All right, let's rock and roll. So he's already told you what to sell him, $15 per month.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I also do think, so here's the thing. So here's what the thing, okay? You said $30 to $50 per day. You're talking about ad spend, and he thought you were talking about $15 as in like pay him. I do believe he's intelligent enough to know that there's a difference between you paying him $15 for him paying you $15 for your service versus $30 to $50 per day on ads. I do think that he's intelligent enough to know that.
Okay. Yeah. I will.
So you
Yeah.
do need to spend some time on that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm rambling here. I don't know how the right answer for you. My brain's a little bit foggy. All I know is this is stuff you have to keep in the back of your mind going into this fight. Is $15 is what he expects. You some have to say something about $30 to $50 ad spend where you don't rub him the wrong way. Just like the guy that you just had a conversation. So you had a conversation with somebody who thought it was $500. All right, maybe it has something. This is the second time this happened where they think two different things going to the sales call.
Yeah.
Second time.
And this time I didn't even say anything about, well, I did say something about price, but just not in the same way. So yeah, this second time for me. But this is a good case. It's like you said, he's ready to go for 15. He thinks that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
And he had just got rid of he stopped using whatever marketing company that he was using. So like the pain is there. He definitely needs the service. I think I'll be good. I feel like I can get this close.
Yeah. There's no way you don't get this close, bro. There's no way. So
No, absolutely. One thing is you gotta be able to get your foot out, get your name out there, and get consistent leads. I can't speak for other painting contractors or agencies, but we only work with painting companies. So that's why we've been able to have the success that we've had, because we're not stressed out worrying about other industries per se. We keep everything in one industry and just
I don't think this is strengthening your case. I think he already knows that you only work with painters. It doesn't really pertain to what he was just saying. So again, this goes back to listening, bro.
we've been able to have the success to only work with paint there. No, yeah, absolutely.
$500 cheaper. Your Facebook and Instagram and $500 cheaper. No, can't wait till he's right.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. One thing is you gotta be able to get your foot out, get your name out there, and get consistent leads.
So yeah, I just had a conversation about this. Is like this is important because if you don't, here's what, like again, if he says something, you have to tie it back to what he's saying. If you don't, one, you sound like you're reading a script, or two, you just don't sound intelligent. Because he's like, what the fuck is this motherfucker saying? It has nothing to do with what the fuck I just said. And then if they believe that, then they're less likely to buy from you. Okay. So like what he just said has nothing to do with what you're saying. Like if what a more intelligent, not more intelligent, that's not the right word. A better thing to maybe say in this case is like, yeah, I mean, is like, so yeah, that marketing agency, if I'm hearing you correctly, they were charging you double to go from Facebook to Instagram. Is that right? Like they were charging you said $2,000 and then did you say $4,000 to go to Instagram too? Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I hear you. You know, some of these agencies, man, they're gonna try and milk you for everything. We price our things at a place that we know is fair. And then at the end of the day, John, here's the thing. We price our things in a way where you've got to be able to make profit, right? If you don't make profit, then you don't stick with us. My goal isn't to fucking take everything off the bone. I gotta leave something on the bone to make sure that you're happy and I'm happy. So yeah, man, so that pertains to what he just said. Whatever he said, I just tied it back to what he just said. It's not some random shit.
Yeah.
I can't speak for other painting contractors or agencies, but we only work with painting companies. So that's why we've been able to have the success that we've had, because we're not stressed out worrying about other industries per se. We keep everything in one industry and just copy and paste. So I'll love to share everything with you. Now, John, I got your number for is 617-784-0316. Is that the right number? All right, perfect.
Yes, that's it.
And your email is johnladano@icloud.com.
Yeah, you should my name perfect. Very good.
Cool, man. I was worried about that. I'm like, I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong. All right.
I like what you did there. So that small little touch, bro. That again, that shows you're listening. That's you becoming friends with somebody, bro. I like that. Do more of that.
Well, I got us locked in for Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Where are you located, by the way?
Austin, Massachusetts.
Austin, Massachusetts. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get you set, and you should get some text after this call, just setting up that reminder, and I'll send that mechanism video over to you so you can check that out along with Jesse's video testimonial. And you'll just scroll down to the bottom to find Jesse's video. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I'll see you.
Okay, so one thing is the thing that Cam does, remember, is he tells people, hey, again, you gotta really emphasize the importance of the video and importance of the testimonial of it, right? Which you did. It's like, hey, so what I want, you didn't do a good enough job with the mechanism. It's like, hey, look, I really want you to check this out. You said I want you to check this out because it's gonna make the sales call that we're gonna have much easier. But you gotta go, hey, it's super important that you give this a watch. You didn't say any of that. It's super important that you give this a watch. The reason it's so important is because it's gonna walk you through our system how it works from A to Z. And that in turn is gonna make our call much simpler because I'm not gonna have to try to get you up to speed. And then you go into the whole thing of like, hey, I'm going to tell you about, I want to send you a video of Jesse, da da da. You remind me so much of you. Good. So Cam does all that. Here's the thing that you're leaving out, okay? Is you're saying to him, hey, so after I send that over, hey, look, John, like I said, I'm gonna send this video over. Super important you watch it. I'm gonna touch base with you here. I'll reach out to you later today, probably in about an hour or so. Just make sure that to because I want to know what your opinion is, or I want to check what your thoughts are after you watch that mechanism video. I want to make sure you feel good about it and feel like this is the right strategy for you. And so Cam always says that. So what happens is now they're like, okay, I have to watch this video. It is homework. After I watch the video, because the reason I have to watch is this guy's gonna reach out to me. I don't want to fucking leave him hanging.
Okay, yeah, that is a huge piece I'm missing because Cam texts them a video to their personal cell too, and he lets them know that.
Yeah. So now it's like the way you set it up is like, hey, I'm gonna send you a link to this thing. It's got a video here. It's got a video, but you're not telling him, hey, he has no reason to watch it. He's gonna watch it if he's genuinely curious. And some people are curious, some people are not curious. However, if you guilt trip him into watching it, now he's gonna watch it. He's gonna look like a fucking asshole. It's like, hey man, I'm gonna reach out to you. Okay, if this motherfucker's gonna reach out to me, like I gotta watch this fucking thing.
Yeah,
Just
okay, I gotta start putting that on there because Cam will tell him he'll send him the video, and then he'll let them know I'll send you a video because I'd like to know what your thoughts are and everything like that. So yeah, now they feel bad if they don't watch the video.
yeah, exactly. He kind of guilt trips them into watching it, right? So, and again, it's imperative that they watch that, or else you're not gonna fucking close. How many sales calls have you had? So the sales calls that you've had, have they watched the video before the sales call? Do you know?
Yeah, Jason watched the mechanism video. I confirmed that on a discovery call with him. He was excited. Um,
That helps. Like if
Everybody that pretty much showed up to the sales call this month has seen the mechanism video.
gotta make sure. You just gotta make sure that they watch it before, bro. No matter, it's like it's prior. It's one of the highest priorities, right? Priority number one is just make sure they show up to the call. But priority number two is make sure they watch the mechanism and the testimony video before the sales call, or else, bro, it's a low likely chance that you're gonna close. Very low. Okay, so it's another thing you probably want to write down. That's priority number one. Make sure they show up. Priority number two, make sure they watch the content before the sales call, or else you're not going to close.
Copy that.
Um. So that's that. Estelan, you asked a question, bro, of what was your question? How far should you dive into telling someone tell us someone telling you the price of the comparator? Do you ask them if they include ad spend? No, you don't have to go deep. I mean, you don't even ask people, bro. Estelan, you don't even go in and ask. It's just like he brought it up. And so if he brought it up, it's like you can engage in that conversation. You don't even need to. So if somebody tells me like, oh, I talked to this person, they're charging 5K, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know anything else. I just know that I need to either charge less or add more value than they are for that same price point. It's not that hard to do. You really don't need to dive super deep.
Just curious.
What's that, bro?
Just curious.
Yeah. No, good question, bro. Good question. Very good question. I like to get as much information as I can on my competition for sure, like on a sales call. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Um, but yeah, you don't have to go into like super detail of like ad spend, this, that. I don't think most people care about that, right? Most agencies, Estelan, bro, the way they do it is they don't care. They don't like charge you. They don't say like, hey, it's a $5,000 package, half of it is ad spend, half of it is our service fee. That's not how they do it. Most people just say like, oh, it's $2,000 a month. It's $1,000 a month. And that's just a service fee. And then people can spend whatever they want on ads.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's usually how it's run. It's not like, hey, Eslan, if you want to work for me, bro, it's 5 grand, and then 3 grand I need for ad spend, 2 grand is my service fee. It doesn't work that way. It's just my shit's 5 grand or 2 grand or 1 grand, and that's just it is what it is. And then we separate the ad spend. Ad spend is pretty much.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
don't we I don't know if I'm mistaking videos or something, but don't we get the customer's payment card and then they pay for the ad spend themselves or no?
Exactly, exactly. So, I mean, there's different ways you can do it, right? You can like, there's so many different. It's you can get them to pay you, and then you use that money to run the ads. You can get access to their ad account, and then if you have access to their ad account, then their ad account is tied to their credit card, and then you just spend whatever they want to spend. So,
Got it.
there's different ways you can do it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not something you need to worry about right now. When me and you create your offer and structure it, like that's when me and you will talk about specifically for you.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys got some value from that. Righteous, you have questions, bro? Right? Questions, comment, concerns?
Uh, no, I'm ready to get to work. I
You're,
appreciate all the advice.
bro, you're
Um,
good. I still
I'll,
stand by what I said at the very beginning of like, hey, you can spend more money on ads because
yeah,
I'm not seeing you fuck up, bro. I'm not like it's small. Like today's fuck up was small little thing, which is like, hey, you didn't say what you need to say at the very end to get them to bait them into watching the video. Aside from that, like everything else you did right. It's small little things, which is again listening, tying things back to them, not sounding like you're reading a script. But that shit's like easy to fix. In my opinion, it's easy to fix if you want to.
yeah, I think just running through that discovery call, the objectives, just run through that and just be more confident, man. I don't even know why I'm acting like I ain't closed the deal or something, but you know,
You're doing
I don't
good.
know.
You're way better than who you were like 6 months ago. Way better, night and day.
I feel better for sure. I feel like I didn't even know what campaign ad said. I was confused. I was like, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be in trouble.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, bro. Way better, way different. I for what it's worth, again, I'm confident in you. Again, I told you today for the first time after, months. I never told you once, like, spend more money, do this, ramp up. I'm telling you today. Um, so for whatever you think of my opinion, I think you're good. I think if you just take the wheels off, like, you'll be good. So, anyways, Jorge, Esteban, do you guys have questions? Anything you guys want to go over?
No, man, thank you for spending the time, bro. That was a nice video call review or discovery call review. I like that.
Thank you, bro. I'm glad you got value from. This is a good one, bro. Usually, bro, I be shitting on people, bro. It's a comedy show usually.
So
My,
just wait for mine, then you can shit on mine when you get it.
No, no, it's fun though. We all crack up. It's fun. We won't do it, but yeah, we'll do yours, bro. We'll do one of yours, of course.
I wish I could have seen your face when you reviewed my onboard. Oh, he said, "Yeah, man, I watched 10 seconds. You need a lot of work." I was like, I was hurt a little bit, but I'm like, it's the truth. You can't.
Yeah.
But I did watch your onboarding with Jeremy, and I noticed night and day. Like you said, dude, you can't don't be general. You know what I mean? Like it's not a script. And you just have to really sit on things and make people understand. And what you do, you like give an overview of before you go into everything. So like that was my big takeaway that I know I'm not doing. Like for every step, you want to make sure that, hey, this is what I'm gonna be going over. This is what the details are, and then dive into it.
Yep.
Versus me, I'm just like, just run through the script and
It's okay. I mean, the fact that you picked up on that is the important thing. So, yeah, like I said, bro, I noticed I should have been doing this with you guys earlier, which is like I just kind of give you guys course material, and I realize how important it is for me to step one, give you course material, step two, allow you to see me do it first, and then watch you guys do and give you guys feedback. So, yeah, thank you for carving out the time to watch it. I know that was a long ass video, but it sounds like you got the right value from it. So.
yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it because it's like it just the more and more I watch, the more that I take in, and I just notice I pick up the small bits and pieces. So I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get as much as I can. So.
Good job. Jorge, you got anything, bro, before I let you guys go?
Just I don't know if you covered this. Maybe just like one thing where somebody asks you like, well, it's not really like they're asking you, but more just like maybe like you how you deflect it. If someone's like, yeah, like you sound like really like you sound like you just do the same thing like all these other guys. Kind of like differentiating yourself.
It depends.
Meanwhile, like,
It depends on where they're saying that in the call, bro.
mhm.
Where, like on a discovery call or on a sales call or what?
On Discovery Call, kind of like, yeah, I saw the video and it seems like you remind me of like doing it with like I talked to this other guy who was kind of doing something similar.
Yeah, it's the only way you can differentiate yourself is your mechanism. So here's what so when you hear people saying that you sound like you're like everybody else, what do you think they're referring to, bro?
Well, there was actually talk about the 6 week challenge stuff, like specifically.
They were talking about the 6 week challenge?
Yeah.
Oh no, there's no way because nobody else is running the 6 week challenge. That's not possible.
He said that there was there was another guy doing it, but it was more for like, and I think I might have handled it like the best way where he's like, yeah, it sound like the other guy that does 6 week stuff. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know though. Like, what did he do? And he's like, oh, he did this, and I'm like, well, listen, like, we don't do like we're not really like with like fitness, right? That's probably why, because they're more focused on like fitness stuff.
Oh,
Whereas we focus on martial arts, specifically jujitsu.
I see. Do you think maybe he was talking about like a gym launch ad, maybe?
No, he was talking about this other guy. They're another agency in the martial arts space, but like he said, they're more like cardio kickboxing stuff. Like they're not like actual real martial arts. But he said they used to run that in the past. And I'm like, what'd you do? Like, what'd you offer? He was like very like, that's why I'm like, bro, what the hell is he saying? He's just saying shit. He's like not even like explaining. He's like, yeah, just 6 week stuff. Just didn't work. I'm like, okay, but like what didn't work? Like why? Like what was the value stack? And yeah, just classes. We're not looking for people who are in fitness. And he just wouldn't say it. So I'm like, bro, like I just skipped the question because he just wouldn't like
Hmm.
he wouldn't answer the question directly. So I don't know if it's like a him thing,
Probably
but
a him. I think you did a good job. How you handled it, I think you did a good job.
I don't get these a lot, right? 'Cause it's rare that somebody does do it for martial arts. Um, like I said, this guy was just like a one-off like situation. Um, and like even then, like what he was asking for and like what I was doing, he's like, yeah, like it was not a fit at all.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It was like a weird case. I wouldn't think too much about it. I don't. Here's the thing, bro. Like, if you have an issue that happens like 10% or less, it's not even worth like tweaking up your process. I don't think, right? Like, if it
Yeah.
happens, like, fuck it, bro. It's a weird off, one off.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you did a good.
Yeah.
You did a good enough job. Um, That's all I got for you. It's a one-off thing. Don't worry about it too much. The main thing is, here's the thing. Whenever this is for everybody, if people say you sound like everybody else, what they're usually referring to is your ad where you're offering 20 leads guarantee in 24 days you don't pay because that's a Hormozy thing. Once Hormozy came out his $100 million leads book, everybody made the same marketing, right? It's Hormozy stuff, it's cold Gordon stuff. Um, the only way to differentiate yourself is your mechanism, your unique thing, and that's all your mechanism video. And so you got to get people, and this is why, right? Just you got to people watch the mechanism video. That's the only way to differentiate yourself. And then the only other way, additional on top of this, like any support you give that's unique, right? Offering like an AI bot system or whatever. Or again with Aiden, what I just went over today, that's gonna be unique as fuck. No person gets leads, closes deals, and then gives it to a wedding photographer. Like nobody. There's no person in the market that does that. So he's gonna be super unique. So that's it. Like your mechanism is the only way to separate yourself. And so again, you need your number one task is get people to watch that video as soon as possible. Makes the rest of the conversation way easier. That's all you can do. That's the best you can do. And again, that's why me and you, Jorge, are working on like that thing with the chart and the six figure versus everything else. So that's our way to differentiate you. And then from there, then people shut the fuck up. So I wouldn't think too much about it, bro. I think you did all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just because it happened, I was like, it was top of mind. But like, yeah, you made a good point. Like, I don't remember the last time I got asked that, or like if somebody even pointed that out.
I'm surprised that he even did. I thought when you told me there's no way.
Yeah. So apparently, there's another martial arts agency that does like, or that used to do the same thing, or something like that. Um, uh, he said that they ran like the PIF campaign to get more people to pay in full, and then like yeah, they did the stuff like that. But I don't know, like I couldn't tell if he was saying that because he just watched the video and he was just kind of repeating what I said in the video. Um, this guy was like all over the place.
I would say if you have it happen more, you did the right thing of just diving deeper. And so if I highly doubt this is gonna happen, but let's just say theoretically you have 7 more conversations like this. You ask enough questions, and then me and you will have enough data, enough information where we can tweak up your pitch to make you sound different on the fly if that happens. But I don't even think you're gonna have 7 conversations like this again. So,
Okay. Yes.
but anything else, bro? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Esteban, you got anything, bro?
No, man, I'm just listening.
Cool. All right then, fellas. If that's everything, I'll see you guys here next week then, okay?